Whoa.
I get mobbed in Canada, dude. I get mobbed in Canada, and you should know that.
You get mobbed in Canada?
They call me the Canada Kid.
It's weird because in LA, people flag you down for Ubers and stuff. Isn't it weird?
That's not very nice.
Isn't it weird how that works?
Mm-hmm. Last night, I had the pleasure of sitting through Mary Poppins. My daughter was in it. And I kept smelling. I thought I stepped in dog shit. I was checking my shoes, and then you ever have that where you keep and you're like, "The fuck is on me? Something's on me.
Yeah, it drives me nuts.
Something's on me."
Yeah.
And I
figure it's someone else usually.
Yeah, but then you're like, was somebody breathing behind me with terrible breath? What the fuck is going on, right? I just couldn't figure it out. And then I smelled my sweater, and I was like, I have something on me.
Let me guess.
Yep, I love it. Go ahead.
Your breath.
Nope.
Your teeth.
No, you asshole. It was
your wife.
No. But I did. She was talking, and I was like,
"Yeah, you." Because you go over all angles.
She was talking. I was going, and she goes, "What are you doing?" I go, "Nothing." She goes, I was like, maybe she ate some poo.
Did you order the poo platter?
Right, but it wasn't her. And then I look down, and I see my son just sitting there, and I go, and I hear, like right in the middle of the play, and my wife goes, and I go, huh? And another. And he's just farting as loud as he can. Didn't give a shit. And I go,
Hey, man.
I go,
little manners, huh?
And I look at my wife and go, has he been farting this whole time? And she goes, the whole time. She never told me. And we started laughing in the middle of my daughter's play. She's on stage. We started, when you can't stop laughing?
Yeah.
Like two kids instead of being adults. My own daughter's on stage. I could not stop laughing.
Farting.
Then the kid behind me rips one like if you were to take a bat and hit a heavy bag.
What's wrong with all these fucking kids? My dad would slap my face.
They don't, because they're 5 and they don't care and they don't know and they're just like, what? I have to fart. Then they'll say stuff like, I have to poo. Like, now? Yes, now. Like it comes immediately.
Yeah.
And you got to run them to the dirtiest bathroom on the planet. It's a good time. So that was my experience.
How was the play, though?
Oh, wonderful. Mary Poppins. It's funny because kids, they forget their lines. Some of them have meltdowns. Some of them
Did you slap your daughter if she forgot the line?
I would.
I'd run a tight ship.
No, I run a tight ship. I said to her, before you go on, I said, first of all, I know you like acting. Now, the chances of you making it are literally
0.
less than 1%. Right. I said, I don't see a lot of talent in you. You're 8. I know there's a lot of time to grow. Personally, I think you're.
I don't see it.
I think we're gonna. You're digging yourself out of a hole. I think you're made more for.
But she is white privileged. She's pretty.
I said,
so you got that going for you.
Hopefully, I'll be able to pay your bills, but I don't want to.
No promises.
So don't be an artist.
No promises.
Yeah, you're not. I don't want you to be an artist. I want you to be a civilian. That's what I said. And I said, I don't approve of the play, but go ahead and have a good time. I have to crush her spirit a little bit. Can't let her grow wings. Let your kid grow wings, and they have dreams, and they want to.
How did it go?
They want to follow their dreams. No, we can't have that.
No,
got to keep it tight.
Yeah. Did you tell her? It's not real. You can't be whatever you want. That's. We all realize that's fake, right? Can't be whatever you want.
Well, that's my favorite.
It's not true.
I think with a kid though, you want to be able to say.
I agree. A kid, you want to. Yeah. To a certain extent.
Just don't hem them in and say. But I do agree.
No, if he's 14, he's like, Dad, I want to play for the Los Angeles Lakers. I'm like, son, look at the color of your skin. You're not very tall either. Probably think about doing something else.
My mother did that to me. I was probably 12. I played basketball at summer camp because my family was overseas, so I had to go away to summer camp.
And you were small too, I'm sure.
I was small, and I don't mind saying it. I wasn't that fast either, and I don't mind saying it either. But I don't know if you know this. This is going to be a surprise to you. It's going to be a surprise to you. I don't jump that high.
Basketball's not.
This is going to be a surprise. My hands aren't that big. Basketball might not be the number one choice for a career for me. If you're my counselor.
Well, if I'm your counselor,
yeah.
I'd say sports aren't for you.
Sports aren't for me.
Yeah.
I'm a
wrestle your ass off if you want.
Yeah, I'm a recreational guy.
Yeah.
I'm a recreational guy.
Go get nasty.
Go get nasty on the tennis court.
Go wrestle.
Go take some lessons.
Yeah.
Okay. My mother looked at me and said, I swear to God, it was the greatest thing. She said, listen, just Italian, right? Italian, Sicilian. She goes, listen, you're not tall. You're not going to be a basketball player. I wouldn't play basketball.
How old were you?
12, and she was dead on.
That's kind of fair. A little bit.
It's so fair. She saw it. She goes, yeah, basketball's not your thing.
A little bit. I mean, you don't want to just wreck some kid's dream. If he's balls deep in the NBA and he's like, I'm going to be the next Jason Williams, white chocolate.
I was way too realistic.
You don't want to kill him.
I was too realistic for that.
Well, at 12, you don't want to be realistic.
Yeah,
because if you're realistic at 12, you know where your
I was good at other stuff. I was coordinated. I was good at other stuff. But as far as basketball is concerned, no.
But that wasn't your passion.
It wasn't my passion.
If it was your passion, it's a different story.
That's true, and she saw that.
Completely different
It wasn't
story.
my passion.
No.
That, and when I was 22, I did a musical. For my theater school, the neighborhood playhouse in New York City. My grandfather came, and my whole family came to the final performance. I've been in acting school now for 2 years.
This was like the finale?
It's a conservatory where I did nothing but act and sing and dance for 8 hours a day.
To do this musical?
To be an actor. I went to the neighborhood playhouse. So
Okay.
you'd go there for 1 year, and then they would invite only a small portion of people back for the second year.
But then when you put on this musical, was that under their banner or a different promotion?
I was under their banner. Okay? So you understand? So
Yes.
you would do a musical and you would do a play. And this was the real deal. This was your kind of graduation. And I had to sing.
What was your part, first of all?
It was from a movie called The Idol Maker, I believe. And I had to sing. I had to do a scene, then go into a song, and then I had to do another scene. I can't remember. Point is, I had to sing and dance. Not a bad dancer if you let me figure out the moves.
I feel like you're not a terrible singer either. Like
I can hold a tune.
Yeah,
and
you're not terrible.
Nope, and I worked on it. I worked on
Hard.
singing for 2 years. So
That's embarrassing.
it's embarrassing. It's very
I
embarrassing.
paid money to see you practice.
It's very embarrassing when you're going ha ho ha ho.
But you thought you were really gonna sing.
Well, I kind of knew. I'd heard real singers. Okay, I'd been in New York.
But
I'd
there's
been
a difference
to Broadway.
between Broadway singers and then like
There is, and David
Christina
Bowie.
Aguilera,
That's
yeah.
right. That's right.
big difference.
Big difference. The Broadway singing tends to be more stylized. You can train for it for a long
Yes.
time. You can get by, right?
Very different.
Right. My grandfather, my awesome grandfather, when I was done,
He's dead.
I loved him. When he was done, this is a Sicilian guy from Brooklyn, Sicilian, and just a great person. And he said, "Come over here." So he goes, "You did a very good job. You notice how people were laughing at you?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "So that's where your strength. You made it funny, right? You're not a good singer." Dead serious. He goes, "You're not going to make your living as a singer. You're not. I know you work on it. I don't care what they tell you. You're never going to make your living as a singer. But you're funny. So stick to the funny and
Yeah.
don't do the music."
Yeah.
He was dead on.
Yeah.
And that's fair.
I feel like, don't you think everyone kind of knew that in the room though? But he was just good enough of a
course
guy
they
to
did.
be honest
Of course
with you.
they did, but who really tells you the truth? Who really, right? People will let you look. That I have sat in acting class, as you know, for many years, and it was so readily apparent that the people there who had come from wherever they'd come from to come to Los Angeles to be an actor, and they had the dreams, and they were okay looking, and they were just okay talent-wise.
But don't they find out once they get in the room?
Absolutely not. And that's
a bummer.
you already know in your time doing stand-up. You've seen
stand-up?
people
Oh my
who've
God.
been doing stand-up for 15 years, and how are they? And yet they're out there banging it hard.
Dude, I have to go in if they're that bad, and I can't watch the video before I go on stage. B, I'll have to go into another room because I don't want to fuck up my flow.
What did Jesus Christ say? You can see I believe something. I'm going to paraphrase. You can see the splinter in your neighbor's eye, but never the log in your own eye.
Yeah.
The idea is it's very hard to have an objective sort of. It's very difficult for
I feel
us
like
to
in
see how we
sports
think
and
how we- sports is-
entertainment. It's very
sports and comedy. But you can sit in an acting class for many years because guess what? With acting class, first of all, your teacher tells you great job. Your classmates
'cause
tell
you're
you
paying
great
them.
job. That's right.
Your friends.
And they want to encourage you and help you grow.
Well, you're paying them, and then you're surrounded by friends who are also in the same process.
Correct, sir. It's called the Mutual Insincerity Society.
But then doesn't everyone sit around and go, has anyone got a job last 3 years? Like, no, I was close
And
though.
here's
It's
why
like,
they
well,
don't. Here's why they don't.
They're using the exception.
Because tomorrow I might have an audition that changes my life. And as you know, there are a lot
Can't
of
hate
examples.
on that.
There are a lot
If
of
that's their
examples.
passion, I can't hate on
And
that.
there are examples you can point to. The problem happens when the person just shouldn't. It's the way I shouldn't be running punts back in the NFL. There are some people that simply shouldn't try to be actors or comedians.
The difference is, like, you wouldn't even have the opportunity to run it. Like, there's no, it's not even, that's not even an option for you.
Because as I tried to do it as a young boy and then in high school, I would either get squashed, not make the team, sit the bench.
Yeah,
right?
not make team, but even in high school, your coach would go, no, you're not doing that.
That's right.
Like, we have 30 other guys who are better
That's
at it.
because somebody's faster than I am.
Yeah.
Remember when I challenged you to a foot race?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that doesn't mean much. But
What do you mean?
my uncle Pax, I remember when I was a freshman, so I was a late bloomer. I was going to my sophomore year. I was skinny most of my life, man. Super skinny.
That's what your brother told me.
Especially in high
That's
school.
what your
Super
brother told me.
skinny. My uncle Pax, who played Division I football at Cal, then was an Olympic boxer and blah blah blah, successful dude. And he was just like
God, he was a successful guy.
yeah, super successful, Mr. Universe 4 times,
and
whatever.
multimillionaire.
Yeah, to say the least. But we're at dinner and he's a very upfront, loud dude, entertaining guy. And my dad was talking about, oh, you should have seen Bren make this play, blah, blah, last week. And he goes, you're in high school? And I go, yeah. He goes, huh. And my dad's like, yeah, we're hoping he gets a scholarship to University of Colorado. And, his dream's playing in the NFL. My Uncle Pac's like, oh, what? He's like, have you ever seen the guys that play at Division I level? Like, what do you weigh? And I'm like, maybe 175. He's like, no. He's like, it's just you're too skinny. He's like, you're too small. Yeah.
But in that case, he was wrong.
Yeah, like I said, passion, and then I also was blessed where I grew up.
But there
big.
is that thing where you have to look at the baseline of things. So if they do this experiment where if a woman is, say you take an Asian, very shy Asian woman, and she's sitting on a subway and she's reading poetry, okay? And I said to you, is she a business student or is she a poetry student? What would you say? So typically a lot of people would say, well, she looks shy, she's reading poetry. I'm going to say she studies poetry. That would be something that you see on the surface. But a statistician would say, hold it. The fact of the matter is, if you were to say, I just asked you what kind of a student she is, okay, which would mean if she's a student, chances are there are so many more business students in New York City sitting on the subway than there would be poetry students. So by that law, you have to say she's a business student. Yeah. It's the same kind of idea. Like what would your
that's with
base
everything.
rate? Right.
But in entertainment, it's even tougher. And fighting or professional sports, you're talking about less than especially Division I sports.
And that's what he was saying, though. He was saying chances are.
Well,
the average
no, he wasn't.
pounds.
He was going off that because I was so skinny.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
When you see a skinny kid, typically you're going to be like, I don't think he's going to grow into a 250-pound guy the way you did, which is pretty rare.
Not really. But I'm a freshman in high school.
Oh, you were a freshman.
Yeah, so it's very tough to.
That's tough. That's a little.
And
tough.
he's older.
And you were a good athlete. You were.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a little tough.
Yeah, that's kind of jumping.
That's
ahead.
a little young.
Jumping ahead there.
A little young to say about
that.
it.
It didn't bother me at all.
Why? Because you knew.
He's older.
He didn't know.
I was playing on. I was playing with all the older kids. I was first team freaking all conference. I was like, what? Old man. I mean, granted, he's smart as shit. Yeah, that stuff didn't bother. I remember when I was in 6th grade, and I went to the University of Colorado football camp. Like all the middle school and high school kids would go. There's like the thing in Colorado, man. You were there for 5 days, and this guy that I looked up to, he's the coach of Northwestern now. Fitzpatrick, I think is his name. Fitzgerald or Fitzpatrick. He was a legendary linebacker at Northwestern, all-time leading tackler in Big Ten, blah, blah, blah. Legend. Went to the NFL, had a cup of coffee in the NFL, so there you go with that. Smaller guy. And I was like, oh, because I played linebacker at the time. I was like, oh, shit, there's Fitzpatrick, man. This is awesome. And we're doing backpedaling drills, and I, tripped on a sprinkler head and my cleats on. And, I have big feet. That's how you know I was going to be big because I was real thin and skinny, but big feet. And I hear him tell the other coach, he'll never make it. Look at the size of his feet. I'll never make it. Look at this fucking size of his feet.
What?
And dude, I felt like crying right then and there.
How old were you again?
Like I said, 6th or 7th grade, probably.
Oh,
and he goes,
that's not cool.
And he goes to the other guy, and they're joking about it. He goes, oh, don't. Look at this guy. No, he'll never make it. Because I was doing well and everything else, and I tripped over that. So, people were like, oh, look at this kid. So, because I was doing really well in everything. Tearing things up.
Yeah.
And then I go to, because you'd go into sections, like hour here, hour there, hour there. It was exhausting, by the way, but I loved it as a kid. But hour there, hour there, hour there. But stay the night in the dorms, blah, blah, blah. And I trip over the sprinkler head. And he goes, no, he'll never make it, to his buddy.
That's not
He goes,
cool.
look at the size of his feet.
I don't
And I was
like
all,
him.
my heart was like.
So is that the kind of stuff is that typical or is that not typical?
I think he was a dick.
Yeah.
I would never do that.
No, man.
I would never do that.
I mean,
then he
sports
went on
is
a
objective,
terrible
but gee
NFL
whiz.
career. I don't even know if I think you played as many games as he did.
Yeah.
But as a kid, and he's a phenomenal, beast of a coach.
Yeah.
But as a kid, you store that. I'll
Maybe-
never root for Northwestern.
Maybe.
I'll never root for Northwestern.
But maybe he didn't know you hurt him, you know? Maybe.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, of course.
That
it
means
doesn't
you're a bad guy.
matter. Yeah.
But you don't joke with another grown man about a
No.
kid tripping over a sprinkler.
No, man. No. Jesus.
And then we were doing like one-on-one linebacker drills. So you'd have a tight end and a linebacker. So you go one-on-one, run a route, and then he was the quarterback. And I was routing these kids up, man. I was like destroying them. You know, just no one could hold me catching the ball, and he's the quarterback. I was like, oh, at least he's throwing me good balls. And then he overthrows it. This fucking guy, now I think of it, I have a real hatred for him. He overthrows the ball. Again, I'm in 6th or 7th grade, man, going against this giant black kid who's clearly playing at Ohio State or some shit. And I fucking juke the shit out of him. He rolls his ankle. I'm wide open. He overthrows it. And then I just run back. I'm like, all right, see. I mean, he chucks it. And I'm walking back, and he goes, no, hold on. And because the linebacker's going to go get the ball, he goes, let him go get it. Fuck that. Let him go get it. I was like, what is this guy's deal, man? It was almost like reverse racism, because I was the one white guy just tearing it up.
Yeah.
It was almost, and he was white. I'm like, hey, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What's your deal? Even now when I see him, you know, because you remember, I'm 6th or 7th grade. Football, University of Colorado, NFL is my life.
Yeah.
Everything. My walls are cut. You know, it's like, that's my life, man.
Yeah. For me, that stuff that happened to me as a kid a couple times, which I'll tell you, and it would make me furious as in murderous. Like, I have a long fuse, but I have a bad temper, right? And I don't know what the psychological profile for that is, but
serial killer.
I remember when in high school, there was a ref we had for wrestling, and he would deliberately he didn't like our team. He didn't like my school. And he would deliberately try to
screw you guys over?
No, he would literally try to psych you out by talking about how amazing the other teams were. And he started talking about how incredible this one guy in my weight class was. And I remember I was 16 or 17, and I remember I knew what he was doing. And I said to the assistant coach he was talking to, I said, why was he saying that in front of me? And he goes, he likes to get into your head. He's the ref.
How old is he?
I don't know, 40. I don't know, some dick.
What a
He's
psycho.
probably Fitzpatrick. Do you know I got so angry?
Same guy fucking you me over.
I got so angry that I remember thinking to myself, I will die. I will
then lose
die.
like that.
I will fucking die. I think I don't remember I don't even remember the match. I still remember it. So at 50, if I still remember it, I don't remember what I did, but I can promise you I won. And you know why I won? Because if I didn't win, that would be such a deep scar. I think I beat the shit out of the kid.
Yeah. The kid's like, Jesus.
Oh my God. There was simply no way I was going to lose.
You never forget that stuff. I had a buddy who I wrestled with in 6th grade. I won't say his name, but we had a Royals middle school. And, you know, it's 6th grade. There's a lot of pressure when you're wrestling, blah, blah, blah. And this other team comes in. And he bumps me. He goes, look, they got a girl, but she was like this, like athletic looking black girl. And I was like, yeah, they do have a girl. And he goes, can you imagine going against her? How fucking easy it'd be. And I'm like, yeah, it'd be pretty crazy. But even then, I was kind of like, I don't know, man. She looks pretty wiry. Like, she's on the team. Something's up here. He gets paired up with, you know, when they do matchups and they have the bracket, he gets paired up. He gets paired up with her, and he was so nervous. He's all, fuck, man. I go, dude, I mean, what happens if she's really good? He goes, not a chance. He goes, worst case, man, I can just like strong arm, you know, because I'm a guy. I'm like, yeah, good luck. He goes out there and gets his ass whoop. She pins him.
That's great.
And he was actually went on to do crazy things with basketball. She pinned him.
That's so good.
And he cried under bleachers for hours. I don't think he ever wrestled again. I'm
gonna bring in a letter that when I was trying to be an actor, and I'm gonna read it for people who it's gonna be for anybody who has a dream, where people are telling them they can't do it. You do have to be realistic, but you also have to dream.
Got to be a big dream.
You got to be and when I was trying to be an actor, my mother, because she loves me and she was trying to help me out, she sent me a letter in the mail from one of her dearest friends about how worried she was about me trying to be an actor.
How old is this? How old are you?
I was 20. I was probably 21, maybe 22.
And was the lady who sent the letter, did she have
She
any...
loved me. She grew up with me. So she was so worried that I was making
Did she have
a
any
huge
idea
mistake.
about the business or anything?
No, but she knew me and she knew my situation, and she had men in her family who had not done a lot in their life.
But not through acting and stuff.
Yeah, but they didn't have to worry about money.
See,
I didn't have to worry about making ends meet. My dad paid my rent. My dad, when you don't have to have a job,
motivation stuff.
Yeah. Now, luckily, I have a fucking huge ego and a bad temper, so I was my own motivator.
Yeah.
But
so you got a rich dad, though. Yeah.
But for her, she said, I feel like this is a pipe dream, and I remember to never forget this sentence. She said, unless he's very talented, he will probably always do back room productions in some little theater and have to wait tables into his 40s and
I don't
50s.
agree with that.
Well,
That's
she was
weird.
she was so worried that she was writing it to her. She was writing it not to me,
to your mother?
Yes.
And your mother showed
and she
you?
was trying to get my mother to talk me out of it, and she was just being a friend. But my mother made the mistake
If you don't
of
have
saying it to me, dude.
if you don't have perspective, though, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't know I get she cared about you, but the other thing is...
Oh, well, I agree with you.
But yeah, I know. But the other thing, too, is with that stuff, you might have this dream that you want to be an actor. You have no idea what road it's going to take you down. You wouldn't have found stand-up if you didn't pursue this.
I shouldn't have. Of course
So,
I
and
wouldn't.
then, like, when people go, should I be a fighter? That's why I don't hate on people. If that's your dream.
I've
That's
seen
your
you.
passion.
I've seen you.
Do it.
Try it.
Because you don't know where it's going to lead you.
Right.
Look at me.
You don't know where it's going to lead you. That's a very good
You
point.
might make it, but you might find something where, like, hey, if I never started fighting, we wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be in LA. I wouldn't be doing this.
100%.
I wouldn't be doing stand-up. I wouldn't be doing anything.
That's the
if
best.
If I did football and was like, you know what, I'm just going to grind it out, go play, maybe I'll be on a practice squad in the NFL, or go play Arena League football, Arena League 2 football, and just see what happens and settle down in Denver. Think how much different my life would be.
That's a great point. That's that following, like they always say, one honest decision and movement follows another. And I think if you have this deep need, and I remember keeping that letter, and I said, I'm going to keep this letter and read it. I read it to my acting class when I got my first huge job.
Yeah.
And because it's such a, it's such a hard business, but I still have the letter, but it was motivating to me. It just made me more angry and more determined.
God, that wouldn't I'm not motivated by that. That wouldn't get if that
depends on your
if that
personality.
came from Morgan Freeman, I'm like, God damn, yeah, this is important. Some random lady who's your mom's friend, I'm like, okay, lady,
Yeah.
thanks for nothing.
Yeah.
Moving on.
She's an intelligent woman who knew me well.
I know that still doesn't bother me unless you're in that business and you know the business. I don't listen to it.
All it did for me was motivate me.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. What it did to me is I went, okay, can't wait to prove you wrong.
That's good.
And I still have the letter. Those little markers of people saying you can't. And a lot of people let that shit stop them, and a lot of people don't. A lot of people go, good.
Well, if that stops you, you're not ready for the ride.
That's a good point. And also, I like what you're saying about the fact that when you do, like I always say that, just do anything. Look, if you like music, just start learning the guitar. You don't know where it's going to lead you. Just do something that you want to do initially. It'll enrich your life, and it'll you might meet people you want to be around. There are a lot of things that
Do
you need to
something.
Do something.
We're like Tony Robbins today. I don't know where we got started on this kick.
I know.
Like a real Tony Robbins.
We started on the play.
Oh, we just started on the play.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, Tony Robbins' videos never got taken down on YouTube. Our videos just got flagged on YouTube because we showed that iguana running from the snakes. I thought we were doing him a favor.
I thought it was awesome.
BBC's pretty big. But they're correcting right now. So as you guys are listening, it's back up. Not a big deal.
Good.
I thought it'd hook him up.
Good.
Dude, how about I was almost late to my freaking stand-up the other night? And this is a true story. I can't make this shit up. I was watching the Teen Mom Reunion Part 2. And I was so into it, I almost missed. I was almost late.
Oh my
to
God.
the Laugh Factory. Check it out though. And you guys are like, God, how much bullshit is that show? I get that. I get it. It's ridiculous. But these bitches were scrapping. Like they got a legit fight.
Why?
Like, cause you know Dr. Drew's the mediator on that thing, right? Like he's the guy who.
He's the one who told us that it actually had an effect on cutting down on teenage pregnancy.
Well, that's true. Everyone knows that. Yeah. Like Teen Mom actually, one of the reasons they did is to show kids like, hey man, don't have unprotected sex. This is what happens. And since then, the rates of teen pregnancies way down because you're like, holy shit, that looks terrible. remember, and some people think it was the interview we did with him. I've had people send me clips that says it's us. Remember when we were doing Dr. Drew, I kept asking about it. Right, I was asking about Teen Mom, blah, blah, and he made comments about Farrah. Not the last time we did his, when we were on Loveline. You remember that?
Yes.
And we were talking about Farrah.
Yes.
He was talking about how, but he was just getting into Farrah, how crazy she is, basically. Well, she goes on the show, and he's like, well, someone told me backstage you have an issue with me. And she goes, yeah, you did an interview, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, God, that sounds familiar. And then people have been flagging me, being like, dude, that was the interview you did, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, really? And who knows if it is, but he goes, I love this. Dr. Drew goes, you know I'm a host of a show. I'm not your doctor, right?
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, he goes, you know I'm a host of a TV show. Like, I'm not your legit doctor. She's like, okay, good to know. And it was like this super awkward moment. Oof. But that Farrah girl, I'm not gonna get off Teen Mom, but she's talking all the shit, blah, blah, blah. This other girl comes out on the show, and they're yelling. That girl's already been in prison. And they're yelling. And then it's a straight scrap. Her dad gets in her boyfriend's face. Her husband, he punches him in the face.
What?
He falls in the crowd. You can't make the shit up.
It's a real punch.
Oh, no. Yeah, he like throws her dad to the ground into the crowd. And then they all walk off set, and Dr. Drew goes, well, obviously we don't expect this to happen. Thanks for watching Teen Mom. And I was like, damn. And then my girl's all, you got to be there in 20 minutes. I'm like, oh, shit. And I flew out the door.
So they're not doing so well.
It's not that they're doing, I don't know how they're doing financially. I told you Dr. Drew said the biggest thing is MTV covers their therapy bill because they're in therapy like a motherfucker.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know how well they're doing. They must be making bank because it's like season 8, right?
Yeah, I would imagine, man. They
renegotiate. They should, right?
You renegotiate
or
contract.
MTV's very smart because, Jersey Shore got paid after it, but like their second season, they usually we had Homeboy on here from Lord of the Rings. They tied him in for you think he was killing it,
yeah.
But there's a reason why Viacom and these huge corporations make so much money because they know what's going on.
There are always ways out of it, though. If the show becomes a hit, there are ways.
Well, that's true, but the way is if you're undeniable and you have to be part of that show, you can get more money. If you're just a side piece where you're like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, Penn and Teller makes a big deal about it. They're like, get the fuck out of it. We'll find another guy.
There was an actor on Mad TV. I won't mention his name. He didn't want to be on the 3rd season. And so he began to read everything like this. And I'm not kidding. As soon as they had the reading, he was reading it like this.
Does he want more money?
He didn't want to be on the show. He wanted to be let out of his contract. But he goes, okay, I don't have to be, but I have to. This is the character I'm doing. And I'm going to do this guy for everything I do.
Were you guys going nuts?
I wasn't there. But he told me, and some other people told me that the producers were like, all right, we'll get somebody else to read it.
And they let him.
What? I'm just talking
here,
They let
him out of his contract?
Yeah. Yeah, they fired him.
Yeah.
You can get out of it.
There's ways
And when your show's a real hit, your agents can be like, listen, we would hate for our actor to not be happy because when he's not happy, he doesn't feel well. And I don't want him missing any work. If there's any way we could redo this contract.
No,
because now everybody's getting paid.
But again, you got to be in high demand. Yeah. Like, you got to be legit. Like, they can't do the show without you.
Do you remember Frasier?
Charlie Sheen.
No, I mean, exactly.
Charlie Sheen on, what was it, 2.5 Men? Remember him?
Yes.
They can't do that show without him. He made bank. And then he goes crazy doing that Tiger Blood shit. And they're like, okay, let's bring in Ashton Kutcher. And then Ashton Kutcher makes bank.
Yes.
It's never the same show, is it?
No, it's never the same show. Charlie Sheen had something,
He was a talented dude, huh?
Yeah. Well,
remember when he went crazy on the Tiger Blood and all that, and they started doing like live comedy shows, and the first one, because
Jeff Ross was basically
because this day and age, like if your product's bad, like let's say the live Finding the Kids show sucked, you'd only get one because we do that first one in Brea or Irvine wherever we did it, then it would go spread online. Everyone Finding the Kids sucked. Brendan was drunk. Bryan was jacking off in the crowd. Blah blah blah. And then there's no.
Don't use that.
Well, I was just extreme.
I know, but
you know what I'm saying. Yeah. So like there's no future shows.
Right.
So with Charlie Sheen, he did that first one. They're selling out, and you're like, damn man, they're selling out. And then he gets to Detroit and has no material and just like mosey, up there, kind of killing time. People are like, we paid money for this bitch, and then they walked out and they killed his entire tour.
That's the one thing about stand-up.
Because the same thing with stand-up, especially, and movies too. Mm-hmm. Like you go to a movie and you walk out and you go, God, that movie sucked. It kills the ratings for the rest of the show.
Yeah, that's exactly right. People start tweeting, start telling their friends.
Charlie Sheen just went batshit crazy. He's doing a lot of drugs.
Yeah, a lot of it.
Funny stories about that.
Oh no,
guy.
he. I mean, my buddy. My buddy owned a restaurant, and he would start drinking, and he'd go, "I want to see your best wine," and he'd go buy a $24,000 bottle of wine because it was from 1962.
I don't care about that. He has money.
he was
the
an
ass.
extreme
I'm talking
guy.
about the prostitutes.
Oh, yeah.
Paying men to suck his dick.
Oh, yeah.
Paying dudes to suck their dicks.
I don't know about
expensive bottles of wine. Okay.
I don't know about the other stuff.
No one gives a fuck about that.
What did he have?
He has more money than God off that show.
Yeah.
I've heard some crazy stories about that dude. Crazy stories.
I don't know how much. I'd be interested to see how much money he actually has left with all that. You know, there's a lot.
If he was doing that tour stuff, that's pretty desperate.
Yeah.
Imagine let's say Johnny Depp flew off the handles.
Yeah.
He ain't going on tour doing Jack Sparrow live.
No.
No. He's so rich. He's like, I'm not doing that. I don't need to do that.
It's interesting how that kind of crazy money will go, though, because you've got such a crazy nut. You're spending $1 million a year, easy. Think about it.
Think how much he was making. How much was Charlie Sheen Sheen making? I mean, you're talking.
Crazy
it was like $400 million a year off that show. It was the
What?
number one show on TV.
Seriously?
You're crazy. $1 million a year to him is nothing.
Yeah.
A nut. I don't think he's too. Think how long he's been famous too.
Yeah, no, a long time.
Huge
But
movies.
again, we know that people like Tyson, these guys go.
Fighters
broke.
are different, brother.
Yeah.
Fighters are different. What did it say? Net worth up there?
2016, that's 2016 though.
What's it say he's worth right now? God, he looks like death. Mother Nature.
Go back.
121 million.
Yeah, 121.
Well,
right now.
that's
You didn't realize how much Two and a Half Men made?
That's nuts.
Yeah. No,
That is so nuts.
Yeah. Charlie Sheen.
God.
Right? Highest paid actor of all time on TV.
That's like the actor who was the agent who was talking about how when Desperate Housewives, the creator of that, was sleeping on his mom's couch, and then wrote Desperate Housewives, and the assistant agent was talking about how he handed, or at least wrote up, basically a check for $107 million, and said, "That's your check. Good job." When you create a show and it's a hit, there's some real money. We need to do
Charlie
that.
Sheen didn't create that, but he was just the highest paid actor.
No, but I remember when he signed on, I remember somebody said, "Who's the highest paid actor on TV?" And I was like, "Who?" And they go, "Charlie Sheen." Why? Because he owned a piece of that. It was part of his deal.
Killing it, man.
Yes.
It said 1.8 million per episode.
That's not.
Yeah, there's a chemistry to a show. Like I did Frasier when it was the hottest thing on TV. I don't know if you remember that, but it was a long time
I
ago.
remember Frasier. And what's the actor's name?
Kelsey Grammer.
Kelsey Grammer.
He made
I remember I
some
was
bank.
in New York. First time UFC flew me out there at the time. My girlfriend at the time walked in the hotel that UFC put me up at, and I was doing some opening party thing with Matt Serra, Dana White, and Chuck Liddell and me. And they fly me to New York, and I'm with my girlfriend walking the hotel. And Kelsey Grammer, I might as well been a fucking
A mushroom.
shitty
a
piece
mushroom.
of fruit.
A cup of coffee.
Did
A
not-
shitty piece of fruit.
I might as well been fucking.
Hey, is that a bruised apple over there?
It was that lukewarm minestrone soup. Like he eyed my girl up like I've never seen anyone eye
He's a
girl
man.
up. And I thought he was gonna grab her. Like, well, I'm gonna have to whip Fraser's ass.
Nicest guy in the world.
Is he?
Oh my God, he's such a nice person. I'll be
killing
forever
it,
in debt to him too, because I was on a date I told you in Nobu.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And he came over, started talking to me, and I got lucky because of that, because she was not interested in me before.
Is he still on TV?
He's doing The Boss, I think, or
Oh, that's
was
right.
doing The Boss.
He's doing
He's
something
never
like that.
stopped working.
Never.
He's the greatest
He's
guy.
on
He's
Cheers.
incredible. He's a great actor. And he had you ever see his life? You ever see the kind of tragedy he's had to endure?
What happened to him? Yeah,
Oh, I don't know. Let's look up like all the people that have died in his family. I think his dad was murdered, his sister was murdered, one of them was eaten by sharks. I mean, crazy
No.
shit, dude. I mean, when you look at what he's gone through, it's kind of nuts. Murder of Karen Grammer.
Sex tape. Murder of his wife died. It says click on personal life.
Yeah.
Substance abuse. Yeah, where
Crazy
that
stuff.
happens. Murder.
He's been married 4 times.
Hold up. His
Go back,
youngest.
go back.
Hold up. No, fucking married. Look at this. 18-year-old Karen Graham was abducted, raped, and murdered.
Yeah, that was his.
That'll do it.
Yeah. I mean, it's so awful. But there's other stuff that went on too. There's all kinds
That
of stuff.
sucks, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll
But more than that, there's been more murder.
I was
in this
watching
family.
Intervention last night. It was the first time I was actually like, you know what? I can see why she's a drug addict. She had twin babies. This is a young lady, beautiful lady to start off. She had twin babies. They got taken from her for some reason from the father.
Because of drugs, probably.
No. She wasn't a drug addict at the time.
Okay.
That would be a good story because then you wouldn't understand it. But so she had twin boys. They're super young. They got taken from her. Like the husband just took them and left, and they can't find them. Blah blah blah. And then she meets the love of her life, and within 5 years he gets cancer on his tongue, then dies.
Oh.
Right, and then she meets another guy that she was like, all right, well, this is gonna help me get over it. He dies. And then her father, who was like her hero, died of cancer. So these three guys died of cancer. Her babies get taken from like.
Yeah, I mean,
You know what? I can see why she started smoking a little crack. And then now, my God. I looked at my girl watching band. I go, I don't see like. I just wish Intervention be real one time. Like Karen died shortly after this was here. Like they all go to rehab, so the whole family's not doing well, right? Like, and they've all been molested. She was molested.
Yeah,
it's just a shit show of a story. I'm like, God damn, man, horrible story. Like I can see why you'd smoke a little meth and suck dick on the side, right? Yeah. So they show her moving about. The whole family gets together to do this intervention. She's like, nah, I ain't going. I'm like, yes, please don't. Like, let's mix this up. Everyone goes. Let's mix it up. Throw a curveball. They convince her to go, and you have to end it. Plays that song like da da da, and then it shows just the text, and it's like Karen decided that rehab wasn't for her and got caught smuggling drugs. And then she died. I made that part up, but our guest just walked in.
Rob Corddry.
Rob
Corddry just walked in.
How dare you,
And I got to
sir.
tell you, he's incognito because he's a celeb. He's wearing a hat, and because he's got a full head of hair, but he likes to shave it close to the bone.
Yeah, I like
And-
to shave it into it.
Wow, there it is. There it is. Did you bring us gifts? What's going on over there?
That's your mic
What's going
there,
on over
sir.
there? That's your-
Hold on, hey, Brian, let me get on the mic.
Let me get the mic.
You gotta stop asking me questions until I get on the mic.
Dude,
Jeez.
first of all, how do you?
So I,
Yeah.
I flaked on you guys last week.
You know you're the only guest we've ever had back that's flaked on us. That's how much I
we
love
you. We love you that much.
Man, I appreciate
You were
that.
my faves.
I feel terrible about it, so I went to Whole Foods and I wanted to get you guys some kind of like protein powder or
Yeah, no.
B complex whey.
Yeah, because we're so healthy.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so instead I just got you tequila.
Look at that, Silver Patron.
Our boy.
Sí.
Dude, I didn't know Dude, you speak Spanish too?
Sí.
Dude, you sound fluent.
Uno, dos,
What
sí.
the fuck? That's
Wow, man,
impressive.
Yeah.
amazing Spanish.
Congratulations on everything. Rob Corddry,
How
have
are
you
you
met
guys?
Brendan Schaub? Because he's
I don't
We
think I
haven't,
ever
man.
have,
He's gonna
man.
let-
Yeah, great to
I'm
see
shaking your hand.
he's gonna
see you,
leg
brother.
kick you.
What?
He's gonna leg kick
I'll
you.
fucking fight both of you guys. I'll fight both of you guys.
Dude, you have an intensity to your eyes
Yeah.
that's downright scary.
Yeah.
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 All right, good interview, guys. That's our time.
Well, that's it. Thanks for
This
tequila.
has
It's been great.
It's been fun. It's been really fun.
What's going on, brother?
I don't know.
Appreciate you coming in, man. So you got a
Yeah.
big movie, December 9th it drops, right?
Yeah.
Big
Friday.
movie, yeah.
Friday.
What's the movie? What's it like to do motion pictures? I only do TV.
motion pictures?
Yeah.
Films?
Yeah.
I don't know. I do movies.
Son of a bitch. I do moving
I don't
pictures.
do films, apparently.
movies.
It's the same thing.
It sure
With
is.
the days.
Longer. A lot of waiting
I
around.
guess. I don't know. There's no difference.
But I
at all.
feel like when any
Should've
movie
get
you're
paid
in,
more on TV.
any movie you're in, Hot Tub Time Machine, this new movie, like people see you and like, yeah, there, it's like a good feeling, like it's hilarious.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's
That's
nice.
what
I
they
hope so.
literally what you did. You go, I love that guy.
I get a weird feeling. I get.
By the way, Rob and I know each other, and I'm going to go back, and I'm not kidding.
We're talking
Do you remember where it was?
Gotham Comedy Club.
Thank
right?
you, sir. And that's 20, and I'm going to give you a number. I think that was 21 years
In
ago.
New York?
1995, 4 or 5.
1996.
And you were in a
The Summer of Love.
you were in a sketch show.
That's right.
And I remember, I swear to God, I remember watching you with Patty Jenkins, who is now a big director and
Wonder
just
Woman.
directed Wonder
Yeah.
Woman and stuff.
Small budget
And
movie.
watching you do this strange, you were smelling something and your whole body was contorting. And I went, Guy's very talented.
Oh, that's funny
You
because
can
I thought
see
the
it.
same about you. We're gonna blow smoke up each other's
Yeah,
asses
please do.
now.
I'll just sit back and watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like Gotham Comedy Club, 1995-ish, was the Callan Corddry show. We burned that fucking place down.
We burned it down, guys.
Would you guys do? You guys would do shows together? You just
We
on
would
the
never.
lineup
I don't think we
together?
ever
Never.
performed together.
You were
just,
you were a sketch guy. You weren't a
You didn't do
I wasn't a
stand-up.
stand-up. So, but you did some sketch too with your pal
did.
Jimmy, right? Was
I
it
did.
Jimmy?
I did. We wrote a bunch of stuff.
Shout out to
It was
Jimmy
really
Burke.
funny.
Jimmy
yeah,
Burke.
Yeah,
Jimmy Burke.
Jimmy
Yeah.
Jimmy Burke, the greatest.
Good man.
So
The
so you
national
started in the sketch world, but you never got into
Yeah.
stand up.
Never did. No.
Did you ever want to?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but I don't know if I'd be that good at it, because I think like as all the different oh god, what the things you can do in comedy,
Yeah.
right? Like that to me is the closest to art that we have, you know, like, and to do that, I feel like I would have to just do that. I would have to like
Focus on that.
fucking you know, like just be, it takes such a work ethic, I feel like.
I think you have it. I think you could easily do it personally.
Because he's a performer.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to. I think I
he's just
could, but then
naturally
that
funny.
would be at the it would, you know, I'd have to sacrifice a lot of other things.
You're
that
going to take my workshop.
I think
and I'm
I
gonna
like
tell you-
better.
And let me
I
go-
keep
and-
going to your workshop.
I
It's
know.
6 a.m. at
Yes,
the
it is.
Hilton, right?
It's at
And
the
you're
Hilton.
not there.
I'm not
Never
there,
there.
dude.
You're
He's
never
never
there.
on
No, and I
time.
apologize.
It's
I sleep.
expensive too, right?
It's expensive.
It's
It's
I'm in the hole
35.
like $2,000.
I know, man.
Yeah, and actually, it's now $3,500. But listen.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
All
gonna
right.
get.
Well,
I'm gonna get to it.
bill 'em in the mail.
My workshop at the Hilton will at
keep
6
going.
a.m.
I'll keep going,
I'll
man.
keep going.
Because
And
that's
that's what
part-
the workshop's called. Keep going.
And
Is
that's
it-
part of the workshop, the discipline of waking up.
Is
for
it
no
a
reason.
bigger deal to do this show or your movie with Jennifer Aniston and the rest of that crazy squad?
Oh, this one.
That's
Good,
my
good,
favorite.
good answer.
That crazy gang of
Dude, look at
Well, he
look at all
does
those
ballers.
people.
You know he's on Ballers, right?
Yeah, he's in everything.
Yeah.
He's in everything.
What is Ballers? How is Ballers?
It's fun.
And what's Dwayne like?
It's fun. Well, what do you guys think?
I think
You
he's
guys
aw-
have mu-
I
have
think
you
he's
guys met him
awesome.
ever?
No.
I
He
haven't
seems.
met him.
He seems. He's one of my favorite Americans.
Yeah, and he comes like you can't be that magnetic on film, right?
And be a
not
dick.
be that magnetic in person.
Yeah,
agree.
yeah. Because
He's that kind
this
of
isn't
guy.
a knock.
He's exactly what you want him
Yes,
to be, right?
'Cause I think he's the same guy you see on camera that he is in the streets. And this is a knock on him because he's not that good enough of an actor to be that cool on camera and then a dick in real life. Does that make sense?
Yeah, he's
Right. Well, I don't even know. Like, I'm kind of taken by him. Like, I thought, like Pain and Gain. I thought that's when I first looked at him and was like, oh my god, you can act and
sing and play the piano, by the way.
and dance.
And
He's done the whole
Be
deal.
Cool would be the one that should give most people markers because he played a gay bouncer in that.
Be Cool.
It's called Be
didn't
Cool.
see that.
It's the follow up to Get Shorty.
For me, for me, when I thought he was amazing was in The Rundown. I went, that guy's a movie star.
That's standard though. Like I expect him to do the rundown.
He's funny though.
What's The
He's got
Rundown?
a sense of humor. That Peter Berg movie, and it's really good.
Oh,
and he
Action.
remember in the end when he decides
Sure.
to use a gun again.
Yeah.
But
Don't you think that's like? Of course,
No,
Rock's gonna do that.
not really.
Like you see him like in Ballers, he's really good, right? He's a former football player, agent, and then like I said in Be Cool, or like when his start in Scorpion King, I think 2 or 1. It's like
Yeah,
of
right.
course he's gonna
Mommy.
do
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
No,
Like,
when I
the
saw him-
like Hercules, it's like,
when I saw him sing a parody of "You Look Wonderful Tonight," and he it was like, "Biatch, you look terrible tonight," and he was doing this thing for this professional wrestler, or she's a promoter, and he was playing the piano, and I went, "This dude can play the piano."
wait, he
and
really
sing.
can play the piano?
Yes, he can.
Shit, I
Plays the
didn't know
piano
that.
and sing. I couldn't fucking believe it.
he's an animal.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, is this really happening?
Man, yeah, he's that kind of guy.
and Ballers switched. You guys were filming in Miami, right? Now it's in Los
Yeah,
Angeles.
Yeah.
It's a big deal, yeah.
My life is the one thing about that show that was hard.
Forget
just
Miami, am I right?
became
Yeah,
easy.
I bet.
Yeah,
Yeah. You have a family, right?
yeah. 2 kids.
2 kids. Well
Yeah.
done.
Well done. Well done.
Thank you.
How old are they? 22.
They're yours.
Ah, damn it. I knew it.
Yeah, no, they are 8 and 10.
I have 8 and 5.
We saw each other in Silver Lake, I think, years and years ago, right when you had the 5-year-old, I believe.
I feel like the last time I saw you was in Vegas.
Oh, really?
at that pool party, and I don't remember what it was for.
You two were at a pool party? Shirts
Yes,
off?
in Vegas.
Shirts off?
Probably.
Couple of medium
Knowing me,
guys.
yeah.
A couple of medium white guys with their shirts off.
Raging.
Dude, he and I arms in the air.
I'm
doing blow.
surprised I've kept this shirt on right now for
I
so
hear you,
long.
man.
Yeah, doing blow. We were like, hey, let's
yeah.
cheat on our wives
Yeah.
with those girls that are not even looking
We stole
at us.
cars.
Oh yeah,
We built guns.
we built
Built
guns.
guns.
And
Threw them away. Didn't even shoot them. They're hardcore when we go to Vegas. Yeah.
Hardcore.
Hardcore. We built fires, campfires in the middle of the casino.
Fuck yeah.
But before you came in, Brian and I were talking about, show business and professional sports and how many people, not that by no means have we made it, but by, everyone, the odds of making it are challenging. When you were growing up, were people always telling you, like, I don't know, man, like, probably think about doing something else?
No, well, I didn't, excuse me, guys. I never knew I wanted to be an actor until college. So
Where'd you go to school?
No, what?
Where'd you go to school?
UMass Amherst.
I almost went there.
Yeah. Oh, get out of here, right? Fun school. But I was also the firstborn out of 3. So I was pretty much told, like, you can do anything. You might be able to fly. You're golden. You're golden.
Really?
Yeah, I think
That's interesting.
Yeah.
But are you from Massachusetts?
Yeah.
And you're Irish?
Well, yeah.
Or
I
that's
guess-
very rare for.
I
I mean, I spent some time in
know.
Massachusetts.
Well, I'm not
Massachusetts.
Catholic.
You're not.
So yeah.
What are you?
Protestant. So
Even still, though, that I feel like, being from Massachusetts and a Protestant kid is sort of, they're stoic people.
Yep.
And they're realistic people.
Yep.
And they're not, and they tend to ignore you as a kid sometimes.
well, yeah. I mean, well, also that was the time, right?
Yeah.
Like, but my grandmother, my father's mother was, I was her first grandson, and she was very dignified woman who lived in Annapolis, and her second husband was an admiral in the Navy, and she was very, very cool and a raging alcoholic. So she was the one, the main voice of, like, you might be the second coming.
You got
You might
this.
be Jesus.
You got this.
She would
bud.
test me. She would give me water, just hand me glasses of water, and
Turn that into
be like,
wine.
"What do you think you can turn that into?" What do you... Nothing. Okay. Well, keep
Okay.
trying. Keep
Well,
trying.
right, maybe tomorrow.
Yeah. So I kind of like had agency, maybe like a cocky agency, where when I decided to be an actor, I was like, yeah. Well, I never knew anybody that had done it. Like, nobody ever left my town, but why not?
And then in college, what made you decide to start doing it? Because that's a big leap of faith, yeah?
Yeah.
At least even to sign up to do a acting class or something.
My roommate in college signed me up for an audition once. He didn't even tell me. He just signed me up. And he was like, yeah, sign you up. We're going. And we both went. We lived in a frat at the time. And we went, and and we got it. We got the parts. And so then then was the shift. That started the shift to acting. And then I got into the theater department, and I was just taking acting classes. And I had this, like, guru. Every actor has their guru acting teacher. And he said, like, my senior year, we had a conference, and he sat me down. I still wasn't 100% sure. I hadn't made the decision to call myself an actor. And he was going, he goes, so by the way, I'm doing a perfect impression of Ed Golden right now. So, do you want to do this for a living? And I went, yeah. I mean, I don't know.
For those of you
Guess
listening,
so.
Rob is reaching over his head and grabbing the other
Very
ear.
lazy.
The other ear.
With his,
Very lazy.
that is such a, I've seen that once in my life. It's the weirdest.
It's a cool move. At least that's how I perceive it, because he was my guru.
Yeah.
It might be like a nervous tick or a deformity, but I just saw it as, wow, man, power move.
Powerful.
Yeah, and he goes, I go, yeah, I think so. And he goes, yeah, you could. And I was like, at that second,
That's
I was
all
like,
I need.
Done. All right. I was at
the
I went to
minimalist.
New York the day after I graduated.
So you graduate from Amherst and New York and off to
Yeah.
the races.
Yeah.
And then bam. I mean,
And then boom.
boom.
And
Boom.
then- no, Rob was out there, as all of us was, for a long time.
Long time.
And I remember you getting your first job. Can't remember what it was, but I remember going, one for the good guys. One for the
That's
good
not-
guys.
Well, you remember how Liz Lewis, Liz Lewis casting always
sure
used
do.
to come to our shows,
yes,
right?
yes.
Stacy Seidel, and she used to.
Dated Stacy for a little bit.
Oh yeah, that's
The
right.
beautiful Stacey.
She's
Loved her.
Awesome. She's
Love her.
awesome.
Yeah.
I owe her everything. And she, I did a sketch where I did a bunch of characters in it, a bunch of voices, and she did voiceovers. So that was the I booked. I think it was like Blue Moon beer, a local
Big deal,
commercial.
though. Getting
Big
that call.
Big deal. $500
Yes.
at that time. Holy shit.
$500.
Fucking, I was searching for change in my couch so I could go get something from the ice cream man.
I had to call
This
my dad.
isn't- this
but
isn't-
anyway, I know what you mean.
You had a rich dad. But this
Yeah.
is in New York, so you're living with a bunch of guys and just trying to make ends meet.
Yeah, I was living with other actors. And definitely trying to make
It's almost
ends meet.
like a frat house full of broke actors.
There was at times.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. It
Now you go back. Now that you are going from job to job, what happens when you go back home? Are you showcased?
Do you big time
Well,
them?
here's the thing. Yeah, a little bit.
I hear
A
you.
little bit. People are like, I hate going to like a wedding or a funeral where there's a couple groups of people who they just want to talk about The Rock, or then there's another group that's
Like me and Brian.
well, this is a podcast.
Yeah,
That's
no,
a completely valid
Yeah, I
question.
hear you though.
But like to like corner me for 45 minutes at a wedding.
Well, you're very nice. I mean, you're
yeah, I
super nice, so
can't.
you're never going to be rude.
I also just I like talking to people to a point, you know?
Yeah.
But then there's the other half, the other group of people who are like, oh, hey, how are you? So, you seem to be doing all right. Yeah, got a pretty nice deal there. And where is it now? California? Well. You know, and they're just like sucking on a Bud Light, staring at me like, fuck
Hating you.
Yeah.
Because you're the one guy who made it out.
Yeah, you get the feeling like if they get drunk enough and you just your eyes just stay on their wife just a little too long,
They're going to kill you.
They're going to punch you in
They're
the
gonna
chest.
kill you.
Yeah, they're going to hit
right,
you right in the chest.
right in the solar plexus.
Just ruin your momentum.
Yeah, they're going to have a fucking
Yeah.
an episode.
You think you're a hot shot, Jennifer Aniston? Think you're a hot shot?
But my main group of friends that I go back and see, like, luckily one of my buddies is a Mass State cop and he's undercover narcotics.
Dang.
So he's got a hardcore life, and everybody wants to talk about is that. Like, we all are just like riveted.
I feel like everyone's riveted with that stuff. That's
Yes,
why
it's
like,
so
those prison
fascinating.
shows and the drug shows
Yeah.
and the cartel shows.
Yeah,
Like,
'cause it's
I
great
don't have a
stories.
friend who's in it.
It's great
So I
stories.
can't get the information from anyone else.
Yeah.
You just can't.
Yeah.
It's like how
wild.
you get balls deep when you meet a guy if he's in the Navy SEALs and
yeah.
you're just hounding him with questions.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, dude.
Oh my god.
Not a mystery to me. I lived it. I can't really go into it right now. But you know, that was that time where I wasn't working as an
You
actor for a long time.
disappeared for like 2 years.
Sure did.
Yeah.
And it wasn't because I wasn't working. It
Black
was 'cause
Ops.
I was you keep waking up free every morning. I'll keep doing what I do. And
You're welcome.
Thanks
You're
for
welcome.
your
You're
service.
welcome.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you,
welcome.
man. Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your
Thank you
service.
for your service. I love that shit. I love that. Thank you for your service. I so badly want to be one of those guys, one of those mysterious guys who, where go ahead and ask me what I do, ask me what I did and stuff. Ask me if I was ever in the military.
Hey, were you ever in the service?
I did a little something there. Yeah, I was in the military for a while. Yeah.
So, what branch? Army?
I just did a whole bunch of stuff. This and that.
You sound like a liar.
No, it just sounds like I'm really.
That sounds like you're a liar.
Well, I do. I
Yeah, I
hear
guess
like
it does.
It sounds like you're
I guess I'm being-
bullshitting.
I guess I'm being
That
too
was
general.
terrible.
Okay, then let me try this.
stolen valor. Stolen valor.
Have you seen those
No,
videos?
I can't watch it.
Dude.
Oh, I love those videos where they
Me too.
where they roll up on a
What,
dude pretending
they're
to
like,
be a
what
seal.
infantry were you in? He's all 4, 7, 9, 10. He's like, I was fucking there.
Yeah.
What city? He goes, San Diego. You're stolen valor.
Stolen valor.
God.
I've heard all about them, and I just can't, I get anxious just hearing about it.
too.
Like,
That's so embarrassing when you're
Dude,
that.
I saw one where this guy was pretending to be a Navy SEAL to get chicks. just happens to be.
At least he's got a reason.
Well,
Most of these guys are just out there.
Me and Jimmy Burke used to do that.
This guy just did it at the wrong bar. He's in San Diego where
Don't do it
Navy
there.
SEAls like to hang out.
No.
And
Go to Silver Lake.
go to Calabasas.
Yeah, exactly.
Go to Calabasas and tell that story. But he's telling the story, and then these real Navy SEAls are like, "Oh, really? You're a frogman? Like doing all that stuff?" And he's like still lying to them. Like, let's talk to you outside. There's 5 of them.
That's a bad
legit.
situation.
Like they're all legit badasses.
Yeah.
This guy won't give it up, and they're like, "You need to stop this right now." And then obviously it turns out bad for him.
I'm sure it did.
Yeah.
Because then he starts challenging them. It's a bad
What?
idea.
Fuck.
Yeah, and it's not like the Navy SEAls are like stolen valor.
No.
Huh?
No,
They're
like war.
This
No,
poor guy.
there's nothing. There's
poor
none
guy,
of that.
He took like 3 days of karate in high school, and he's like, I'm just gonna stay with this.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna ride
Watch out
this
for my
out.
sidekick.
I'm just gonna ride this out, see how it goes. Didn't go well for him.
No, it doesn't go well.
Stolen valor. God, what a weird gig though, to think, how can I draw attention? You know what? Let me go buy some camo stuff.
Yeah.
Put that on, or
Not
steal
even do some
steal
research.
my grandpa's stuff. No research.
Where the patches go.
Yeah, no research or nothing, and then walk around because they're hoping they get,
I know. We've had this couple of Navy SEAL Team 6 guys on, and we're like, after when we're like, that's kind of such a big deal, such a badass. He goes, it's not that big a deal, dude. We're like, yeah, it is.
What, being a Navy SEAL?
Yeah, but being in SEAL Team 6, like the All-Stars, the SEALs, I'm like, it is. I'm sorry, you're not allowed to say it's not that big a deal. It is a big deal. It's like
What was their
anything else.
reason? Like, were they being
He'd been a
modest?
SEAL since he was
or-
17, and that's what he did. And,
It's his job.
Yeah, it's his job.
It was his job.
Well,
When you're
yeah,
there
it's
for
like
20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything
I
is
can
like
get
that, right?
that.
Everything's
Yeah.
like that. Everything's like that
Sure.
when you're close enough. People are like, Brian, how are you? Like, I can't believe you're stand-up, you're groundbreaking, and you're also an athlete. You know what I mean? And you're
Weird.
And you
Wow.
fuck.
I don't hear
You
that.
fuck. And
Well,
so
They
so,
say athlete, and then you're go.
because
do you mind if I
when
pause you for just a second?
What? No, when they follow
Please
my career.
do.
When they what?
They ask you if you fuck.
No, but I have a reputation.
The
as
Navy
being-
SEAls are asking
as being
this?
a fuck. I can fuck. You know what I
All
mean?
right, go on.
You know what I'm saying? And,
All right,
And
well.
then they're like, "What's it like?" And I'm like, "It's like being a regular guy." You know what I mean? It's like being a regular. It feels normal for me
To fuck?
to operate on that high level
I've
sexually,
totally
and
lost-
artistically,
Wait, see?
and athletically.
I've totally lost track of what you're talking about.
I did
because-
too.
because when you operate.
First of all, your body is like stiff. You're flexing right now.
I don't know what you're
Your
talking
face
about.
is turning red.
That's bullshit.
That's
I just have a thick neck. I have a thick
Okay.
neck.
Okay.
Like I'm threatened by Rob for no reason.
Rob, with all the people, and this is the question I wanted to ask you for a while. You look at all the people you've worked with, Ben Stiller. I mean, you go through the list. It's the who's who in Hollywood. I mean, the biggest names. Is there something they all have in common? Like, obviously, they're talented as all get out. But is there something where you can go, oh, well, of course, that's the reason why they're successful? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, that's a
you look
good
at your movies with
question.
Ben Stiller, a guy who I think's the next big thing, and you can tell, he's been in Deadpool and he's in this new. That TJ Miller to me is hilarious.
Oh, that guy
He's
is
brilliant.
great. TJ's great.
He's one of the funniest guys.
Dude, he's
I know.
so funny to me.
I've known TJ a long time. TJ will do a reading, and there's just something about him where he's kind of like has that weird I don't give a fuck funny thing.
He's definitely an artist. He's like a
He does not care.
He's a real artist.
also-
if you see an
he is-
interview with him, it's,
yeah,
it's
he
very,
really is.
Yeah,
He-
I've done a movie with him.
he
And I've done
like,
a lot of stand up.
He's one of those guys like Will Ferrell, right?
Yeah.
That guy's never not funny. I look at his face and I laugh
Yeah.
just because of his style. Like his presence is so unique and weird. You can't put a finger on it. And I feel like TJ though totally different from Will Ferrell.
exactly.
It's the same kind of
I
quality.
agree.
Like I can't.
No,
put
because
a,
Will is insanely committed, right, to anything
Yeah.
he does. And I heard some people talking about playing golf with him, and they were like, he's the nicest guy in the world, but he's competitive as fuck.
yeah,
right?
he's a big athlete.
Yes,
Yeah.
and so there's that, but at the same time, I think TJ has that opposite thing where TJ will, like, you'll come off stage and he'll be like, he'll be like, I got to start writing. I suck. I'm not right. He's very self-deprecating. Like TJ's
sure.
not. I never get the sense that TJ's super ambitious. TJ kind of came out of nowhere. The first time I met him was he was literally strapped to Jeremy Piven's back in a movie I did called The Goods. He was strapped to his back.
Yeah.
And because they'd done this in the movie, he jumps out of a plane with TJ on his back, and TJ's still on his back, and he's walking around with TJ.
Oh, God.
And TJ just being
What
on
a
the back
horrible day at work.
of Jeremy was already funny. Just being, he had a couple of lines, and I was like, I'm sitting there going, this guy's fucking
Dude,
hilarious.
he's hilarious to me. And you can see his, when you can kind of like his rise. It's like it's happening now
for sure.
Like
He's
killing it.
How
But
about
he would
him
also
in
like
Silicon Valley? I mean, he just
he's
kills me.
amazing. On set, I'd be like, we'd be hanging out in between takes, and I'd say, so what did you do last night? And he's like, I said, did you go out? And he's like, no, I was in my room. I was up all night, like writing on my walls, just writing poetry. He goes, forget the security deposit, forget all that. Like, I just needed to get this down.
Yeah.
Like, it's not about trash in a room.
No.
It's about this is where this needs to be.
That's an amazing.
And
that's a great way of describing.
Maybe
it.
these people will appreciate it, and maybe they did.
But you're still gonna have to pay for it. They might enjoy it.
Maybe
you're gonna have to pay for it.
Maybe it's that good. I believe it's that good.
Be called the TJ Miller room.
It's pretty cool though.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just going to think about, you're in some of my favorite movies, man. I always laugh when you're on screen. And I was thinking back all the people you've worked with. And is there something on set, or it's just a talent thing, huh?
Man, I don't know. I can't say. I don't
can never
think
see
so.
it.
I don't think it, and it's not necessarily even a talent. I mean, all those guys that you mentioned are talented, but like, even people, I believe that like, if you give this enough time, if you give this business enough time and you don't have a plan B, and you're like, and enough focus, you're gonna make it to some degree, whatever making it means. And so I guess the one thing they'd have in common is that they work ethic, and like, I was about to say a sense of themselves, but I don't even know if that's true. I don't know them well enough to say that.
I would suggest some of it's almost the opposite of all of that. Like I mean, like Zach Galifianakis was so never ambitious in a way. Zach quit the business. Zach was like, I'm growing a beard.
Yeah,
I'm going to grow a huge beard.
So he
and
just stopped doing it altogether.
But it's like Zach. If you told Zach to work out and eat well, or if you told Zach to, like, if you even mention the word ambition to Zach, he's the anti-ambition.
Yeah,
but he's so talented.
Well, he's really funny, and the thing about Zach is he navigates the world with his humor, with being a silly goose, and
hilarious.
making himself laugh. If you try to get Zach to be funny, like when they were working on his house, they would tell him how much more it was because he was trying to put a pool on his roof or something. And he would go like this. He'd go, oh, great. Now I got to do another bad movie. Oh, and he'd storm off. And the workers thought he was serious. And his wife would have to be like, he's not serious. That's all he lives for. So sometimes it's like, I've noticed like actors who are really good, first of all, can be very quiet, very boring, but they can also be almost exactly the opposite. They can be a complete basket case, even physically, right?
Not Ben Stiller though. He's in shape and he's beast.
in great shape.
Ben Stiller has his demons.
I would say that Ben Stiller would be the first to admit that he is. He's
that he doesn't have it.
Case?
Yeah. As much as we all are, I'm not.
Well, I think we need to define basket case. What's basket case to you? Because a basket case, not he can do whatever the hell he wants on his own time. But if there's a project and he does his job to the highest level, writes it and completes it, that's not basket case.
I wouldn't say basket case. Basket case is. I just perceive it like that's an extreme.
Yeah.
I'd say like you just said he has his demons. Like I don't know if I've met any person that you can tell they don't have their demons. That's just the human
thin skin,
the human condition.
Very, very. I think a lot of actors have very low self-esteem secretly and are self-destructive and have a hole they can't fill, and that all helps. That all helps a lot of times when you are. When you're doing certain things, I don't know. I mean, what was that? There was a thing that Meryl Streep said. Meryl Streep was going to do a book on tape, just reading a book on tape. And she's in the hallway pacing around. This is when she was Meryl Streep, right?
Well, she's still in her heyday, but
that's what I mean.
Her
right?
heydays don't
like
stop.
To me, if you say the greatest actor period that ever
Meryl
lived,
Streep, yeah.
I think it's Meryl Streep.
Yeah.
And she's a nervous wreck. I don't know if I can,
Right.
that part of what makes her so great.
Yeah.
But I think what I mean about like thin skin or basket cases.
Being sensitive.
They're not very sensitive, and not
Athletes
so
are the same
buttoned
way,
down,
though.
and not necessarily.
But don't you think everyone would be that way?
Yes.
If you had the limelight on you, you had all this
I think
pressure
anybody,
and like to put
everybody
yourself
is.
out there.
And yet
Me too.
the problem with them, the problem with big celebrities is the situation they find themselves in is that people, we're having this discussion, right? People think like, well, they must be perfect. There must be
or
these are the
any
guys-
different than you or me.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
of course Kanye West had a breakdown. But of course. Look at the goddamn pressure that guy's on.
Yeah.
Take anyone in the world and put those cameras, put that laser focus, write this music, do these tours about his wife, kids. Look at his life, man, under this microscope. I'm not defending the guy, but I get it, man.
Yeah,
This
totally.
panic attack.
You should get it. It's okay to defend him because
But no, I think everyone. But the issue is we think like, oh, he's sensitive or something like that. Yeah, I think most people are.
Yeah.
It's just magnified because they're celebrities.
Totally.
that's probably true.
Totally.
I agree with
So what
you.
you're saying is life is suffering.
We're all fucked up.
Which is why I want to talk to you about
ahead.
Jesus Christ.
That's why we brought you here.
Now,
Yeah.
give me
Now, Brian,
Okay. I'm listening. Oh,
Yeah.
far out.
we're
Yeah.
gay for Jesus.
Far
We're holding ourselves.
out. This
yeah.
is a completely different podcast than I thought it was. I thought it was a totally different thing.
No.
You know, like,
No.
oh, God,
No,
I was
man.
thinking like on it, you know, that kind
No.
of alpha.
Nope. No.
pills.
This is going to be a purification. It's going to be a purification. It's going to hurt a little
We want
bit.
to talk about your
Really?
movies.
Yeah, you're going to take your clothes off and take a couple swigs of your Patron. And then,
Oh, that's not going to hurt.
no. We're
No,
going
no.
we're gonna numb you up.
You're talking about my strike zone.
Yeah. You strike zone.
Yo, you mean hit a home run right here?
You talking about the strike zone?
All of a sudden, you get super aggressive and really at home.
Give me the Patron.
Whoa.
Give me the fucking
partying
Patron.
out.
Whoa.
I'm laying down with the mic pointing down at my.
Rob, you've got a heart on. I can see it through your
Yep.
mustard colored.
This really backfired.
Mustard
This
colored hard on.
backfired.
Dude, it's so disconcerting to see a heart on push against mustard colored jeans.
Yep.
Your slacks.
This fabric feels so good on my erection.
Damn it, you're wearing slacks.
Yeah.
Ah, you're definitely
just got
circumcised.
these.
That's
What
a
do you think?
hood. What?
I like him, man.
Dude, you look good. You're dressed
My
like
first pair of slacks, really, in a long time.
You really don't need to wear slacks, do you, in your line of business? None of us do.
Well, that's it. Yeah, I wanted to clean it up today for you guys. Wear a sweater and a collared shirt.
I like the look, though, man. I
Yeah.
call it the Cosby.
This is not the Cosby. You son of a bitch.
Hey,
you
take it
take
easy.
that back.
Rob, take it easy.
You take that
Rob,
back.
Rob, take it easy.
Get over here.
Rob, get on his lap. Get on my lap. Get on my lap. Get
He looks my ass.
on my lap. Sit on my mustard colored boner. Get on my lap. Mash my boner. Mash it down. It's too fucking hard. You're a big kid. You're a big boy. Get your tailbone in it. Get your tail. Wiggle your tailbone on my boner.
So yeah, life is suffering.
I was going to
We're all
say,
suffering.
thanks for
We're
bringing
all
it back.
suffering, man. Yeah, thanks for bringing that
Podcast
back.
has been a disaster so far.
This has been the worst,
We're terrible.
worst
Terrible people.
The worst.
podcast.
What do you like? It's funny because now, how old are you now?
45.
Okay, so you're a little younger than me.
Brian will be 50 in January.
I'll be 50 in January.
We're
I
eating
know.
chicken parmesan for his 50th birthday.
No, we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna
That's
do it
my
at Bianconi.
my favorite meal.
Is it?
You just mentioned.
I had
I'd say enjoy it. Don't get that sad face. Make a happy face.
he's 50, so he's on the back nine. I wanted to go
That's right.
big.
Yeah.
We're gonna
And
go
Brian's
big.
like, no, we're going to have chicken parmesan.
well, we're gonna, yeah.
Well, you guys seem really excited about this
You're
50th?
this celebration. This
You're coming.
chicken
Listen,
parm celebration.
You're coming to my 50th. We're gonna set you up on a stage, and you're gonna do a sketch for us.
Every character you've ever done.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, Rob Corddry.
One man hour
and
show.
friends.
You got what your birthday's in about 4 weeks?
Yeah.
You got 4 weeks to prepare.
I got 4 weeks to prepare a sketch.
Yeah.
It's for charity too, so there's no payment.
I have a lot of sketches already written in honor of Brian Callen,
Good.
but
Gotta have a
I
Trump
think I gotta
theme.
yeah, I'm gonna have to write a new one.
All right, we'll figure it out.
We got 4 weeks.
I haven't written one in a couple weeks.
Here's my question. So you're at a point now at 45 where you're doing what you want to do and you're working. There's always more money to be made, of course.
Oh, yeah.
But do you think to yourself, let me just keep everything the way it is?
Yeah.
Or do you have goals beyond this?
No, I don't. I don't have a concrete goal anymore.
Me neither.
I have a like sort of a list of amorphous like things I'd love to do, and
In the acting world?
yeah,
Such as?
oh,
'Cause
any
you've
like
done a
I want to
ton of
write my
stuff.
own movie, and I want to do I would. It's mostly about writing and doing my own stuff, you know, and that's basically it.
Because how much leeway do you have now? Like with these characters you play, do they give you? Do you have to stay within the walls, or do they let you do your thing? Because you're obviously a talented guy.
No,
You're
they-
like, this
yeah.
might be funny if I do this.
Yeah, they most of the time that you're right. Like, I mean, the comedy environment right now, there's very few Aaron Sorkins out there in the comedy world who make you
Boy, oh boy.
Stick to the
I've
script.
worked.
Stick
I've done West Wing where he was at the helm.
yeah.
And you stick to your lines.
Yeah, my
Really?
brother was on Studio 60, and it was every and or but. Like,
For real.
There's no.
I mean, every and or but.
no nothing.
And
There's
you know,
no-
Frasier was the same way, but Aaron Sorkin.
Really?
you don't
Frasier was the
fuck
same
around.
way?
Yeah, you don't fuck around.
Because they were talking about on.
Frasier was the same way.
Very much so.
Jesus.
Wow.
They're
Yeah,
t-
see, it's changed. I think a lot.
But they were such killers. They were so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
I'm not going to argue with Aaron Sorkin, and I'm not going to
No.
argue with those writers
God,
on
no.
Frasier.
'Cause
They were
no.
Will
the
Ferrell
best.
was saying like they'll have an idea for the script, and I mean, I'm sure you know, and you would know. They'd have an idea for the script. They'll get that first take, and then they just run wild.
Yeah.
Like, all right,
Yeah.
we got it, and then
Yeah.
they go nuts.
Well,
That's-
this movie, Office Christmas Party, my character wasn't even written. Basically, there was a character that they were like, yeah, read this guy, but it's totally undeveloped, and we want you to trust us. Like, we want you to trust, and I knew these guys. I just trust us that we're gonna develop the character with you and let you do what you want, and it's gonna be. And I came back to them with a bunch of ideas, and you know, they wrote a couple things, but mostly it was like, you know, it was coming in fresh.
but don't you feel like that's the best way to go?
I love it.
Because
No, I love it. I love it.
Because I feel like if they go, all right, this character, you got to stay within these walls.
Yeah.
But the reason why, if I was doing a movie, I'd bring you on board. I want you. You know what I'm saying? So I'd say, do your thing. I got you to the dance. Do your dance, man.
Yeah, that's
And this-
basically.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
And that's
the
what-
theme is
yeah.
the 50s.
Yeah.
Dress like the 50s, but do your
Yeah.
dance.
And I think that's why they hired everybody. There's so many people in this movie that I think
Jason.
that's-
By the way, Jason Bateman.
Oh, man.
is hilarious.
He's-
People don't
he's
realize.
so funny.
Like
Oh, I think-
Jason
I
off
hope
the
they
cuff is as funny
realize
as any
it, that-
comic.
He's so funny, and I
Really?
mean, he's one of the funniest guys.
Really?
Period,
in-
dude.
yeah.
Dude, he would kill you.
I mean, he's funny in like, you know, that the Boss movie, whatever it's called. I forget
no,
the
but
name of
he's funny. Like hanging
hilarious.
out.
Hanging
like,
out.
Funny
He's
guy.
as funny as
so
anybody
funny.
I know.
Me
Yeah.
too. Me
it.
too.
Who else in that movie? You got Jason Bateman,
Yeah.
uh,
T.J. Miller.
T.J. Miller.
Jennifer Aniston, Vanessa Bayer, Kate McKinnon,
She's hilarious.
right? Randall Park, Sam Richardson. Do you know who Sam Richardson is? He's one of my favorite people in the world
Bring
right
him
now.
up,
He
Chin,
was,
Sam
yeah,
Richardson.
he's on Veep. He's the black guy on Veep. The really kind of buttoned down.
I know exactly who he is.
He's so funny. He plays that guy. He plays the
yeah.
one of the Office.
He's been working a long time too.
Oh
He's-
yeah, man.
He's great.
He's really, really talented.
I have seen that guy.
So he's in it. Did I say Randall Park?
do you think that
Bring up
do you
the whole
think-
cast, Chin.
Do you favor that minorities?
Office Party?
Or do you think that minorities should be in show business?
Well, that's
What's up?
actually I would love to talk about, but that's my podcast. And I would love for you guys to come on my podcast should minorities be in show business, but I feel like it would be wasting our time.
Oh, you got
talking about
Olivia
it here.
Munn in that bad boy too.
Olivia Munn.
She's easy on the eyes, some would say.
Sure she is.
She sure is. Jennifer
Sure she
Aniston's
is.
easy on the eyes.
Jillian Bell. See, look at T.J. Miller's headshot.
That's terrible.
Oh
But
my!
that looks like Beetlejuice.
That's exactly what Brian was talking about. Courtney B. Vance.
That's so funny.
Yeah,
That's good.
It's a huge.
Have
cast.
you seen the movie yet?
I have. Yeah, I saw. I think. I don't
Scale
know
of 1 to
about this
10.
cut.
Scale of 1 to 10.
A 10.
Oh, me?
It looks funny.
I love it. But I'm never. I always see like
Click and Rob for me, Chin.
It looks
movies,
funny.
and
It
I'm
looks-
like, oh, there's
Yeah.
this is great, and then
Look at Rob.
it's not. Look at that
Rob.
guy.
Now you're a bit of a celebrity.
You know
now.
who's right behind me there? That big, huge face. See if you can guess.
I can tell you exactly. Hold on.
That's Ashton
very good.
Kutcher.
Yeah, oh, there you go. You got
Oh,
it now.
dude.
I was gonna get
Oh, what happens in Vegas?
He's that big. That's not a picture of him.
that he's
He's a
just
giant.
growing.
He's a giant.
Come on, Rob. You're not being serious.
I'm an Ashton
I told you
Kutcher
you had to be
fan.
serious on the podcast. How about Children's Hospital?
How about it?
How long have you been doing it
I didn't
for?
know you were on there.
It's his show.
It was 7 seasons. And then we stopped. We just stopped doing it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Funny how you make no money on those shows.
Yeah, right. Well, I guess I was the only one that made somewhat of a living because I had 4 jobs on it, but that's what you have to do.
I heard it's got such a cult following, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, people love it.
We tried to get you on it once, but you were
You big time,
I
dude?
think you were away. Yeah, you big time.
Big time,
You wanted like 1.5.
yeah, $1 million.
Unbelievable.
It's an 11-minute show.
I know,
but I respect that. No, I actually respect
well,
it.
Yeah,
my
I like it.
logic was that if you want it to go overseas, if you want to blow this thing up, you got to pay for it. That's all I'm saying.
That's what
for his international following.
My
That's what
international
I
following.
said to him. I was like, "Do you want?" I mean, nobody is making over like maybe $1,000 per episode. Dude.
You want $1 million.
1.5 million, and he goes, "Let me ask you a question. Do you want to go to space?
That's what I.
Do you want to take this to the moon and back?"
And you
I
said
remember
no.
saying that.
You said no.
I couldn't afford it. I took up a collection, and we got a lot of money.
Yeah,
but not.
But so
near
I
his-
guess I guess I didn't mention it on the Fighter and the Kid because if we mention it,
Yeah,
True.
yeah.
blew it.
Hashtag 5 million downloads.
But no, I think in
more.
reality you were like in the Midwest somewhere doing comedy.
I think I was.
Yeah.
I really
Yeah.
was. I remember wanting to do it, and I was gone.
Brian always tells me they're fascinating story. I don't want to say horror stories, not so you don't have to say any names. Have you ever worked with someone where you're like, I don't know how we're gonna get through this? Like this is just who did we have on who does the
Who's
show?
funny or just like a pain in the ass?
Just a pain in the ass. Who do we have on the show where after he's like, how mad was that dude?
Oh yeah, he goes. We were talking about this one actor, and he goes, "Well, he doesn't work anymore because he sucks. He sucks."
Dude, he got
John McGinley.
He got in my
sucks.
face. He got in my face like he sucks. He sucks.
John
You guys-
talking about?
McGinley's so intense.
and he
I love
goes,
it.
John McGinley.
he goes, he doesn't know the lines and he sucks. I was like, all right,
I
man.
love it.
Hilarious. I
John.
know
John's
you're
always
ta- I
on
bet
the
you I
edge
know
of
who you're
screaming at
talking
somebody.
about.
Oh yeah.
Bet you I know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've
I'll
worked
tell
with
you
a couple
afterwards.
of yeah.
I mean, at that
I've
level in
been
the
pretty
movies
lucky,
you're doing,
I guess. I've been pretty there was a couple people that I just felt bad for. Like I felt like, oh, they're being pains in the asses because they're just not happy.
they're like divas.
Yeah, but not even. It's just like a weird. It's hard to.
Well, I feel like you're the
hard to-
type of guy you're gonna get along with everyone. Like if like someone to tell me, I'll hear someone go, "That guy's tough to work with, man. I'm telling you, he's a nightmare." I've notoriously people who are difficult,
Yeah.
hard to deal with. I get along with them. I
Yeah.
feel like I get along with everyone.
Me too.
usually.
Me
I'm
too.
like-
My wife.
I'm like, I don't see it. I'll talk to him if you want.
Yep.
I
I'm the
make
same way.
I meet somebody, I always like them, and then my wife and my brother don't suffer fools ever, and so I will say, hey, that guy was a pretty good dude, and my wife and or my brother will go, he was a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
You're out of
Dude,
your mind.
I have the same disease, and Brendan.
This is the worst
Tell
I've
him,
ever
Brendan.
seen.
Tell
though.
him, Brendan.
Brian will meet some guy, and it's obviously
serial
a
killer. He's
Ponzi.
He's got bodies in his trunk.
It's obviously
blood
a
all over his
Ponzi
shirt.
scheme, and Brian like, dude, I just hear him out here.
Yeah, yeah.
He wants to sell used electronics, but he
Yeah.
wants to use our platform. Just give him the, just
used
just give him your credit card.
Yeah.
The fuck you talking
I
about?
tend to trust
Me
people.
too. I do too.
He's got blood all over his
I'm
shirt.
so impressionable.
When it comes with business, I don't. I'm always super skeptical of hippo.
I let
but
him handle
people
all of
in general. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
that's
all
smart.
about it.
That's
I'm all
smart.
about it.
He'll be like, Brian, don't talk to him. Let me handle it.
Yeah.
You have to be that way. My sister was always that way. My sister was always really suspicious, and my mother was always afraid that I was going to be kidnapped because I was. Because if you said, "Come into my room," you want to come to my house and see my alligator, I'd be like, "Of course I do." And I just inherently trust people.
Yeah, if it was
and
interesting,
like
yeah.
people.
Me too.
And like people.
Me too.
Even if
but
they're
my wife
dicks,
and brother are always right.
they're always right.
And your
And 6 months later, I'm like, oh, this guy is
damn
a
it.
dick.
That's right.
And your brother lives here. You guys are close.
Yeah, we're very close.
You guys work together.
We've done a couple things together. He was on the Daily Show for like
That's right.
6 months. Then he got Studio 60. And,
Daily Show with Jon Stewart or
yeah.
Trevor Noah.
with Jon Stewart.
Gotcha.
And we did he's been on Children's Hospital a couple times.
I believe your brother got the part I auditioned for on Studio 60.
I auditioned for it too.
Yeah, you
Your brother
a
got
lot
it?
of us auditioned.
God damn it.
Of course you auditioned for it.
We all did.
Yeah, we all auditioned.
Will you
for
guys go
that
auditions
part.
and see each other?
I don't think I've seen
Back in the
Rob,
day,
yeah,
back in the day,
yeah.
like for commercials and stuff, all
yeah,
the time,
yeah.
all the time.
Yeah, but you would still see. It's been a while since I've been on an audition.
Yeah, me too.
But yes,
Because we're so hardcore now.
yeah, because
You're in
now
high
we
demand.
now
Both
we
you're
work,
in high demand.
and I'm holding on to those jobs.
Rob,
I
was
hate
there
auditions.
ever a time you're on set and you're like, damn, I finally made it, man. Like, I'm doing it.
Yeah, you know the first time I said that? The first time I said that was even
Here?
before I met you, Brian. I was on a tour with the National Shakespeare Company, which sounds a lot better than it is. It's a
Sounds terrible.
ramshackle organization of like 8 crappy actors in vans
I know
driving
it.
around the country. Doing Shakespeare for junior colleges. And
Who don't care.
don't care at all. And so then I was on stage. We had to be on stage the whole time. We were playing 3 different characters. It was crazy. And I had a break on stage where I was laying on this woman's lap, and she was like my tour girlfriend at the time. And she was feeding me grapes, mime grapes.
Mime
And I was just sitting there making $300 a week, looking out into the crowd and at the lights, and I was like, this is it.
This is it, man.
I made it.
Isn't
Ballin'.
that
I
incredible?
made it.
And you did in a way. Isn't that incredible?
Yes, he did. And then it's like
What was the play?
That was 12th Night.
Oh, God.
That was 12th.
You did a
Night.
bunch of them, right?
Oh yeah,
Mime grapes.
bunch of crappy Shakespeare.
Mime grapes.
Yeah. Mime grapes.
Mime grapes.
That's
Me, mime.
stylized.
Which, hey, if you're good enough, they're delicious. They taste better than real grapes.
They sure do.
Yeah.
It's a pit. I'm gonna go pit.
Yeah, this one's
Oh, it's
terrible. This one might
This
be
one's
terrible.
It's a bitter pit.
I got a bad one.
bitter pit. You do this. That's when you're a good mime grape eater. Spit those little fucking seeds out.
So for you, it's just ramping up. And before we get you out for you, it's just getting ramped up for the release on Friday, right? For the movie?
Yeah, we have the premiere tonight.
What, Hollywood?
Yeah,
Hollywood.
no, it's in like Westwood or.
Really?
Premieres
all
are
in
different than what you
Westwood,
thought,
yeah.
right?
Yep. Yes.
In what way?
Well, because they look like they'll be fun and awesome, and they're not fun. Nor are they
Or
awesome.
awesome.
Tell us about the Hollywood party, though. The after party's going to be
Oh,
amazing.
the after party is
Come on, it's a Hollywood
something
party.
I stay at now for about 15 minutes.
Then you're out.
Say hi to everybody, and then I sneak out. Yeah, I can't.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
B, tell them about
Okay.
the mistake I made.
Well, you mean at War Dogs?
Yeah. Or not. Yeah, it was one of those movies.
Yeah, it was one of those. I can't remember what the movie was. They go, the directors and
I've been at a couple of premieres, and my buddy was in the movie, and then my
it wasn't War Dogs, the other
my
dog, yeah.
agent represents the director, so he was like, "Come and you dress up."
It wasn't. It wasn't War Dogs. Another movie which I won't mention. But anyway, I'll tell you afterwards. But basically, they go, "What do you think of the movie?" And Brendan, just being honest, goes, "I thought it was all right. Not life changing. A little long." I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Didn't go well.
You're supposed
Yeah.
to be like it was the.
You
greatest
thought I
movie
had the
I've ever seen.
Zika virus.
Like, did
everyone
you
just.
hear? You're supposed to say something like, "Did you hear that crowd?" I mean,
Do I have
it
to
was
say any more?
So good to see it in front of an audience.
That's
So good to see it. It's really like takes off. It really takes off.
well. If,
so
if, but,
weird.
but see, but that's if
Good
you're-
to see you.
If that's if you're not a liar. Now I'm a liar, so I will say it was breathtaking.
You
It
Yeah.
exaggerate.
was the best movie I've ever seen
Yeah, you
in probably
exaggerate.
10 years.
I usually like a lot of movies too. Like, so
Me too,
I
I
don't have
love
the
movies.
like. I'm. It's the impressionable. It goes back to the impressionable
Yeah.
thing. Like, I'm like, I hear from my friends that a movie sucked, and I was like, huh, that movie. Wow.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
kind of
And I
liked
try and
it.
listen to them, like thinking back, like, right, you guys watch movies like you're writers and actors, and I watch them like I'm a 10-year-old boy.
That's a big difference.
Yeah.
It's a huge difference. And I don't know what's better. I think 10-year-old boy.
Hell
I'm
yeah.
trying to struggle to stay there.
But I think it's better that way because I don't think people realize how much of someone's heart and soul goes into making a movie, to writing it, directing, producing. I mean, the amount of effort, the collaborative effort, all the moving parts, and all these people with dreams and hoping it's going to be great. And then what happens is you do that and it takes you 2 years, and then people go, "It's all right."
Then they
They
shit
go like
on
this, they
it.
go,
Yeah.
"It's all right," or they go, "It sucked."
yeah, they crap
That's
out
your
a
life.
review.
That's your life.
Yeah.
That's what you signed up for, though. Isn't
It
it?
is, it is what you sign
Yeah.
up for, but it never makes it really easy. It's a little bit like when, Tim Tebow, for example, or certain athletes, they've given their whole life. They're these people that have done everything right, and for 1,000 reasons, the NFL didn't work out.
Yeah.
And so I always feel like at least I have to have a little reverence for the effort and for the person. So I'll say, tough one. You know, they hopefully they'll go back and get their fundamentals and come back and do something.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas people who watch sports, I notice a lot of times people will be like, he's fucking done. He's done. He's out. And they just dismiss his whole life. And I'm like, dude, that's a human being's entire
You're
dreams
curling
and
up into the
effort. I
fetal
am.
position. I know.
I don't want you to say that.
Sports is even worse. Well, I don't
I
say
think it
even
is.
worse, but sports is
think it
bad
is worse.
because, I mean, that's what you sign up for. Like, people are going to critique you, based off your, obviously one game they're going to critique you, but then you can come back next Sunday if it's football and play
Right.
again, or in a fight, you can come back in 3 months and fight
But with
again.
sports,
Yeah.
with sports, I think it's harder because there's, if you have a bad week, right? There's a huge risk that you can get into your head and then ruin the rest of your year.
That's true.
It's such a, I mean, with acting too, I guess it's like, how they always say, you're only as good as the last thing you did, or you only feel as good as the last.
That's everything, though, right?
Yeah, it is. It really is.
Even fighting, like you lose one fight, like I'm the worst fighter of all time, like, but you've won 8 out of 9. Like I know, but that last one I lost. Like,
This might be it for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
You dealt with that all the time. I mean, people in the UFC.
I mean, I deal with it now. Like, you get a hater or something, like, God, Chub, you sucked in the UFC. You went, I think, 8-3 if you count the Arlovsky win, or 7-4. I'm like,
That's pretty good.
I mean, not bad, man.
That's pretty good.
It's not bad. What was your record?
Yeah.
It's like, I feel like that's pretty good.
11 fights.
I fought-
How many fights did you
And I
do?
fought
Against the very
I fought
best in the world.
of the best. It's like,
Like
I
the
don't,
best
I don't know
of the
what
best.
best in the
It wasn't
world.
like nobody's a tomato can. They were like they were monsters.
Hey, but also, who cares? I tell dick jokes now. Like, I don't care,
exactly.
man. I made it.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about?
That's like for Ballers, that one of the writers is his name's Richard Mendenhall. And
He's a running back for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
That's exactly right. And a good one. A really good one.
Really,
one of the
really
writers.
good.
I love it.
Walked away. He
From football.
walked away at the top of his career and was just like, I'm done. I'm going to go travel and write. Wow. And then the next thing you hear, that's the last I'd heard of him for like a year or two. And the first table read for Ballers, Richard Mendenhall shows up in the room. And I pushed people out of the way to get to him. And I was like, you said you were going to do it. And you did it.
It's brilliant. Then he's talking to you.
And he's the sweetest, nicest guy in the world.
Are you a big sports fan?
I'm a football fan. I'm a big football fan.
Back to Mendenhall, though. I don't think people realize like the amount of cojones it takes
Oh
to
my
go.
God.
All right, I'm a starting running back for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Damn.
I know how this movie ends.
He has records.
Yeah, he's legit. In
Yeah.
college, he was amazing
How
too.
long did he play for?
I'm not sure. 4 years, maybe.
4 years, maybe.
But he
3 or
goes, I'm gonna walk away from this to pursue writing in Hollywood. Again, writing. You know how fucking hard it is to
so
make money as a
difficult.
writer?
Yes.
It's insane.
Imagine
Yes,
that.
I
Like
do.
he,
Yeah,
I
exactly
really
how
do.
hard it is.
the NFL
Tried it.
the NFL should promote that guy like you wouldn't believe. Like, that story is amazing. People don't talk about him.
What a
Glad you brought that up.
great story. And he's writing on a fucking hit show
And he's
Ballers
great.
is
on
huge.
HBO.
Yeah, yeah, and he's he's not only does he write episodes and everything, great episodes, but he's also their voice of reality in the writers' room. Like, that's why it's so accurate, so authentic to the game, is because he's there to say, well, that's not how it happens. This is how it happens.
'Cause
the locker rooms are like this.
That's
the
a big
tension is
problem.
Like this.
Yes, that's a big problem. Like, if you look, granted, that movie, like The Program was pretty good. That movie that Jamie Foxx and Al
Any
Pacino
Given
did, Any Given
Sunday.
Sunday, was good. But Ballers is even more so on point because that party lifestyle and the trouble those guys getting, and for lack of a better term, the chicken heads you deal with, like the girls and the financial issues. Like,
Right.
it's all very, very on point.
Yeah.
Shout out to Rashad
Did he
Mendenhall.
did he
shit.
do that when all the CTE stuff started coming out? Do
What
you know?
CTE stuff?
Head injury,
brain
head
trauma?
trauma, and stuff like that? Or
No,
brain
you know what
trauma?
he did? He did. It was when they found Osama bin Laden. It's when they killed Osama bin Laden. It was right after that because I remember he got into some trouble because he tweeted something a couple days later when people were like, "I'm so glad that motherfucker's dead. I'm so glad." And he tweeted something like, "Yeah, I mean, I get it. I'm as patriotic as the next guy, but I'm not going to celebrate anyone's death. Let's talk about." Basically, he was saying, "Let's talk about now, like what we can do, and let's not." Focus on
him
the,
dying
on
yes.
the death of it. Like
Sounds like a very thoughtful.
Oh my god!
good
Yeah,
dude.
well, he's a very spiritual dude, and I'm sitting here with a former running back, the NFL, and all we're talking about for like an hour and a half is God. And he said to me one day, because we talk about meditation and all sorts like wacky shit, right? And he came up to me and he goes, "Yo, Rob, you believe in fairies?" And I was like, "I don't know. Why? Why do you ask?" He
Kind
was
of
like,
fairy.
"I don't know. My girl, she believes in fairies." And I was like, "Well, let's think about it. I mean, I just like talking to you, man."
Yeah.
And I think at the end we were both like, the idea of fairies is a nice spiritual thing.
Nice thing to
Yeah.
believe in.
Probably don't exist.
Two grown
So he's
men.
not he's not a wacko. He's just
Yeah.
like willing to
Got an imagination.
engage. He's willing to engage and wants to
Open-minded.
explore the whole thing.
That's cool, man.
That's a
He's super
fucking
cool.
great conversation.
He'd be a great he'd be a great guest on here.
He's awesome.
Mental note, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get him on.
Yeah.
Get him on.
Shard Mendenhall.
Yeah.
What's next? Holidays.
What do you got? Let's do it.
Jesus, I love
Let's
how open you
do
are.
it. Let's lay it. What do you got for the rest of the day?
What do you got? What are we doing?
I've got to go to Fort Lauderdale because
Let's
I'm
write it.
performing at the Fort Lauderdale Improv.
Let's
Now
write it
listen,
up.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Maybe
Can you help him with stand up, Rob?
Maybe you get up and do a little sketch before my show and introduce me.
Warm them up.
You warm
and then
them up.
introduce. Yeah.
You open for him.
Okay. Definitely.
You
Just
open up.
miss your premiere tonight and go with Brian.
And you know what? That will be one of those moments. I made it.
I'll give you $300 a show.
Here I am, Fort Lauderdale. I'll make what? How much?
$300 for the whole weekend. I misspoke.
And you got to
That
pay
comes
for your
out
own
to about
travel.
$50 a show.
You got to pay for your own travel in there.
Well, yeah, of course.
Okay.
Of course.
Yeah, he flies privately.
yeah.
He has his own private jet.
Joe, hey, Brian's going to take my plane.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. Rob Corddry, Children's Hospital.
So we'll get you out of here, brother.
The Children's Hospital
This
flight.
Friday, your movie comes out.
Yeah.
It's obviously available everywhere. One of the funniest guys in show business.
It's called Office, Christmas Office Party, right?
Office Christmas Party.
It's called Office Christmas Party. I call it Christmas Office Party.
Right.
But you should call
I call it
Office
just.
Christmas
I
Party.
call it just party, and sometimes I call it
Office Christmas Party.
Right.
or then Christmas Party. So
Right.
you can call it whatever you want.
You play the guy with no lines who makes up his own lines.
That's kind of true.
I like it.
It's essentially true.
I love it, man. Well, thanks for coming back. You're the only guest we've ever had. We had a rapper, Tyga, cancel on us. You want to come back? We kicked him in the face. Yeah.
You're gonna get
We usually
kicked.
ban
Am I
people.
really going to get kicked in the face though?
In the leg.
Brian's gonna have to just kind of nick you in,
in
the
the
leg.
I'm gonna nick you in the leg.
He's gonna, and when I nick you, I mean
try
bite you
that.
with those dull.
I know you.
I'm not
tr-
afraid of Brian.
I know you.
Well, he's
try.
gonna bite your leg. Thanks
Rob's
for coming
not
on,
afraid of
brother.
me.
You're the best, man.
Let's walk
for
you out because I
having
gotta
me.
piss out of my huge dick.
Let's do it.
Let's go piss.
Let's go piss, guys.
I'm just kidding.
Well, Brendan just has to borrow money.
He's one of my favorite people in the world. Literally, I can quote a lot of his movie lines.
Oh, he's great.
Like, bro, growing out the bangs. You know what I'm saying? He has that little
Rob's
piece of hair.
funny, standing still.
He's
and,
so
in his
funny to
sleep.
me.
Yeah, and a great fucking
Fun interview.
guy.
That Rashad Mendenhall stuff, I'm telling you, I've heard about that guy before.
we
We
gotta
need to get him on.
Let's get him on.
If you guys know Rashad,
Tweet him.
well, don't tweet him. You never want to blow up his Twitter.
Okay.
But if you know him, hit us up.
Sorry, I don't know. If
Let's
social media-
jump into some current events because Brian, the Kid Callan, you better start running out to get to Florida.
Fort Lauderdale, you son of a bitch.
Yeah,
Come
I know,
see
I
me.
said Florida.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday at the Improv, Fort Lauderdale Improv.
And toss alligators on stage.
And next weekend, Phoenix live.
Dang, you're busy right now.
Yeah, next weekend. I got some good shows. Phoenix live. Get your tickets. Get
Boom.
your tickets.
And then Fire and the Kid, our Pacific Northwest tour. Vancouver, check this out. Fastest we've ever sold out, 800 ticket theater. They had to, they were like, maybe you guys should do another show. And they're like, or how many comps do you have? I said, forget the comps, sell those. So that's how there's extra tickets
Wow.
to sell this bitch out. So they released, I think, 30 more tickets
Are you telling me we sold 830 tickets in that
in like a week and a half. Canada's crazy, and we are setting up Edmonton, Calgary, and Toronto because Vancouver did so well. So we're coming. Don't worry.
Love me
We'll
some
announce that.
Edmonton and love me some.
I
Calgary.
love me some
Love
Maple
me some
bitches.
Toronto. We're gonna have.
I didn't mean to say that.
Let's go.
I love
Current
some
events.
Ice Rats. All right,
Let's
what
do
do you got,
some
brother?
Ice Rats.
All right, you remember,
But for reals, Vancouver, there's 30 tickets left. tfatk.com. Go get them right now. Because once they're out, don't get mad at me. What do you got, brother?
all right, you know how you guys were talking about that fighters union with all the good, respectable guys, and there's one person in there that was kind of like
Bjorn.
Yeah,
the
so
ex-Bellator
Dana White
guy?
had a comment about that recently.
Ooh.
And the headline says, Dana White fires back at scumbag Bjork Rebney for involvement in MMAAA.
Yeah, so I saw this. I saw Dana White's comments. It's hard to disagree with Dana on this. I'm part of the Mixed Martial Arts Athletes Association, right? Like I'm in talks with them. I'm on board. I'm willing to help out however they need. And Dana just says like, of course, Bjorn's saying I paid guys 53% of profits when I was Bellator CEO because you weren't making any money. He goes, that doesn't mean shit. If you're making barely any money and you're paying, you have to pay those guys. Paying them $1,000, not bringing anything in.
Right.
So Dana has a good point there. I agree. Bjorn's a tough sell, man. He really is. He's a tough sell.
Yeah.
Because
he's not. His history has not been to be a friend of the fighter.
If MMAAA, if they would have came to me, I would have said, okay, so you have Bjorn on board. Don't make him a face of it. Right. Have him behind the scenes. Because why does he need to be the face of it? He's burned too many bridges. His name in the business is not good. They're only going to be able to attack you because of this. Notice there's no one. TJ, Kane, Tim Kennedy, Don Cerrone, and myself. None of us are in the headlines.
Right.
It's all about the negativity of Bjorn. That's just bad marketing on their part.
Dana doesn't really mince words. I don't know if you can see any. I'll just quote what he said. He goes, "The one thing that I do know that came out of this thing is that this scumbag who knows nothing about our business, he says, yeah, they only pay the fighters 8% of the revenue. I hope you're talking about Conor McGregor, okay? We're paying 8% of the revenue. You must mean Conor McGregor, right, Bjork? You stupid motherfucker."
Which is why you gotta love him.
He doesn't mince words.
But then he goes on this interview. He goes bad on Cowboy. Because Cowboy's part of me goes, if he had a problem, he should have told me. It doesn't work like that. Because he goes, blah, blah, blah. With Cowboy, he goes, I've done so much for that kid. He goes, when I saw Cowboy stand up, he goes, so I'm a little shocked by Cowboy Cerrone. He didn't give me a call. If you're unhappy or whatever, let me tell you this. First of all, he's the only headline, like 3 fights, right? Fight nights. He's headlined 3 fights in his career. Never had a title in WC. Never held a title in the UFC. A couple of years ago, he was on his boat. He had an issue with a guy on the boat. He got in big trouble. Who's he call? He calls me. And I go on my way, give him the best criminal defense lawyer, and spend over $100,000 of my own money to help him out. This is the thing with Dana, though, and you love him or hate him. His passion is why the UFC where it's at, and he sold $4 billion, and he's Scrooge McDuck. But you can't go bad on your own product. That's like, you just can't, because you can't be mad at Cowboy. And this is what the association really needs to be about. Yeah, Cowboy's doing fine. Yeah, Cowboy's headline fights. Yeah, Cowboy's a huge name. Cowboy's making money, and he's always been pro Dana White. Cowboy's argument is for the rest of everyone, because as individuals, we don't have that much power. Even Conor doesn't have that much power. Right. As a group, you have power. Yeah. As a group, it's going to be hard to change people's mind frame and the way they think they should be treated. As a group, it's very hard to change the masses.
Yes.
But as individuals, he can go to Cowboy and go, dude, listen, I'll take care of you, just pipe down. But if Cowboy represents a group, you're not going to be able to do that.
It's probably also safe to say that Cowboy wasn't making a fortune fighting and was maybe not getting what a lot of people at that level in other sports,
especially our sponsors. Yes. But to Dana's, Dana go, he's never a title holder, and we've been hooking him up a lot. But he's one. You don't diminish your product. Yeah. That's where I jump off this Dana train. Is Cowboys? He's not a headliner, but he's on the main card of Toronto this weekend.
Everybody wants to see him
he's fighting this weekend.
Yeah.
You just diminish your product that you're hoping sells well.
Yes.
You're saying, the guy, he never was a title holder. He's this, and then you go bad on your product.
Well, Dana there feels like, it sounds like he was hurt. Like, it sounds like his feelings were hurt there because they were close.
His feelings don't matter here.
Right.
That doesn't matter here.
This
is business.
Yeah.
This is business, and Cowboy deserves more. And by him going, he should have called me. again, you go back to as a unit, you're strong. As individuals, you're not.
Right.
So if Cowboy would just called him, nothing changes. Cowboy's probably not up there.
Sure.
Because they pay Cowboy, he shuts up, goes his separate way,
Yeah.
does his thing. But as Cowboy speaks out and gets taken care of as a unit is what's important.
Yeah, man. It takes a lot of integrity and guts. You know, I've said that about all these guys. They're taking a big risk, and it's impressive.
We'll see what happens to him.
They're doing the right thing.
But with the Bjorn thing, that's just bad press. He should have just been a behind the scenes guy. He's burned too many bridges. He doesn't have a great name in the industry. They fucked up there. I'll be honest. And I'm on board. I'm with them.
Yep.
They fucked up. No matter, he might be a great guy, but he should be behind the scenes.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
What else you got, Chin?
All right. I'm sure you guys heard Donald Trump, Time Person of the Year.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Appropriate.
This is my thing, and I'm narcissist. If I was Donald Trump, I wouldn't let him put that picture on there. I'll control every picture they put up, especially the cover of Time.
I'm sure he does.
Well, why would he let him have
Donald
that
Trump, president
shitty hair?
of the divided states of America.
His head looks photoshopped. It looks like our boy Martin, who would have done a better job, photoshopped his head on that picture.
I don't know.
Isn't it weird?
Yeah.
As much money
I
as
don't
he
mind that picture.
Really?
Yeah.
Look at his fucking. Well,
Hold on. Why are you looking at my hair?
because you would let that picture ride.
Sir.
Look at his hair, though, bro. Looks like he has streaks like a zebra or
Yeah,
cornrows.
he's got some issues with his hair. And
My
that's a
thing is-
major comb over.
He's the president of the United States. Fellas, if you're losing your hair, there's no hope for anybody. Look at him.
Yeah.
The most powerful man in the world, most famous man in the world. Look at his fucking hair top.
He is too.
His hair looks like complete shit.
Well,
What can you do?
what can you do?
You don't
Right.
think he's
Don't
balls?
stand in the wind.
You don't think he's balls deep in Propecia?
I don't know what he's doing.
Oh,
He's
sir.
very orange.
You don't think he's so
too arrogant
narcissist?
to take. I think he's too arrogant to take Propecia. I think he's.
Oh, no,
probably,
no.
He's talked about his
no.
blood being good stuff because he's German. Like he's got good stamina, and he also apparently doesn't work out because he believes human beings are born with a battery, sort of like a battery that if you diminish it over time with a lot of exercise, you'll die early. That's what his.
I mean, how long ago did he say that, though? I'm sure he's more knowledgeable.
He's just
now.
got interesting. He's got interesting.
If you do a
theories on
spray
life.
tan, trust me, he's tried Propecia.
Probably.
You don't become a celebrity on a NBC television show and not worry about your looks and hair.
That's true.
I guarantee he's tried it.
But I think he's such a narcissist that he believes he always looks fantastic.
I don't think so.
No?
I don't think he's stupid enough. He's a smart dude.
Yeah.
Let's he's a smart guy. There's no way he looks.
Appearances are
There's no
important.
way he looks in the mirror and goes,
He's a master of appearances.
100%.
Yeah.
Manipulator, all that stuff. You're gonna worry about that hairpiece. I'm just saying, if he can't get a good hairpiece, we're all fucked. What else you got, Chin? I'm not crazy about the cover, man. I feel like you could have done something cooler.
I like it.
Maybe put it in a shadow.
I like the way he's turning around and looking at us.
Scary, kind of.
Yeah.
All right,
Blind
so
man.
Blind man. Go for it, Brian.
A blind man miraculously regains sight after 20 years. I really thought I was dreaming. Holy
He was
cow.
blind?
That's
20 years,
incredible.
and
A
he
New
came
York man
back
was
with
blind
no
for 20
treatment.
years, miraculously regained his vision without any treatment from doctors. Kevin Coughlin, 55, told WCBS that a thick white fog he had over his eyes for years randomly lifted. And since then, he has been able to see. Wow. That's really... Doctors were shocked at the spontaneous change, said the reversal of Leber optic neuropathy, a hereditary condition that impairs and destroys optic nerve cells, was unheard of. Man, maybe he found Jesus. I'm not aware of any other case in medical history, actually. A true optic neuropathy that resolves itself after 20 years. So it's a fantastic story. That's incredible.
So one day, he's been blind, and then just one day wakes up and like, oh my God, I can see.
But it says 20 years, so he must have gone blind at some point in his life, and then 20 years later, just came back.
Now his guide dog's like, what the fuck you still using me for?
That's
Let
really
me
amazing.
run free for God's sake.
And then the story is his guide dog.
Exhausted.
He put his guide dog to sleep in a big celebration. I know it's really mean, but he was like, you know what? I don't need you anymore.
I don't need you anymore.
And he put the dog down, but it was a huge
Or
celebration.
the dog died like samurai death. He's like, I've done my job then, and then ran into
And
traffic.
took his little ball.
I've done my job. Fido, no, red light. And his whole life he's been
Enjoy your
focusing.
sight. Enjoy your eyesight.
I've done my job.
Anyway, that's really. I'm sorry to all dog lovers because I am too, and
Me too, I love
apologize for
dog.
that, but it was very sad. But he's a mean guy. All right,
Dude, that's pretty crazy.
I don't
though.
need you anymore, dog. Kink. Anyway,
Well, maybe go help someone who's blind.
that
now.
part of the story might not be true.
What, the dog?
Yeah.
No, we
I
made
don't know.
that up.
I have to do more research.
I'd have to do research.
Yeah.
Fact check. What else you got, Chin?
All right, this one's just kind of funny. There's a guy in Japan, 23-year-old college student or graduate student. He's going onto trains and cutting off pieces of women's hair. And then he finally got caught. There were like 30 cases of him doing this.
So you know that can be the gateway to a serial killer.
killer.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yes. So men who rub up against people who do anonymous things like cut hair off, cut jackets with razor blades.
Yeah, he cuts their dress, B. Keep going down for me, Chin.
Yeah. Yeah, he might be on his way to
Keep going, brother.
cutting skin
Oh, that's it. Gotcha.
and cutting heads off.
Yeah, because where's it stop, huh?
It doesn't.
Because you're a psycho to begin with.
He gets off on almost being caught.
What's he do? He takes that hair and jacks off at home?
It's a souvenir. It's doing something forbidden. It's doing something to someone forbidden. It's doing something to a woman.
And you go down a bad rabbit hole,
He's getting
right?
an erotic. You're packed in close to the person. You can smell them. He's getting an erotic charge out of that.
And then once that's gone, then it's like, well,
He's gotta
okay.
up the ante.
And then he starts snipping off pinky fingers.
Because you never go back. You never go, oh, I'll go back to snipping hair. You need to up the ante to get yourself
Then it
off
goes
more.
fingers. Then it goes faces.
That's right. That's right. So you might have a serial killer. And why don't we go ahead and put him down like a dead dog, like an old dog. Put him down with the blind man's dog as well. Okay, I like to clean shit up. That's how I roll.
What else you got, Chin?
This one, I didn't read too much, but did you hear about the mannequin craze?
The mannequin challenge. Have you seen that be on Instagram and social media?
Yeah.
So people just
22
like,
heavily
freeze-
armed
Oh,
men
sorry.
post mannequin challenge on Facebook, much to delight of cops. Why?
Because that's the way they could arrest him for carrying all those.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, so since they were frozen, then the cops are like, all right, well,
Yeah.
there's his face, there's
Yeah.
his, and then they just arrested him.
At least
that
19
looks like what's
guns
his name
and
from
22
American
men.
Idol, but
Are you talking about Ruben?
yeah,
Well, that'd be racist.
looks a lot like Ruben.
Because he's a big black guy? That'd be
yeah,
racist,
looks
so.
a lot like Ruben. Oh, well, not now. It
Not
doesn't as much,
at
but
all,
in
sir.
a way, like in an exact way, is what I mean.
Well, I mean, a bunch of dumbasses. What can
Yeah.
you do?
There it is. That
We
mannequin
never
challenge.
did the mannequin challenge. I feel like it's over now.
I do too.
I feel the fad's over.
I
Yeah,
feel like I'm not
mannequin
gonna do
challenge
it.
is over.
Right.
They've done some big ones.
Yeah, I ain't gonna do it
No, well, and that's too late.
unless we do one pissing.
we missed that train and just the peas coming out.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm down for that.
yeah, not moving
Just
with our big old dongs. But we grab our dongs in both hands so you can't see the dong and you can only see the pee-pee coming out of our hands.
and it looks like we're laughing.
But we should be able to see our balls mashed against, because
each other.
no,
I don't know. What
I
kind of
don't want to mash my balls against your balls.
Well, I didn't know
in
what
a
kind of
mannequin.
mannequin challenge you're trying
I was
to
saying
do.
we grab our dongs in both hands and you pee-pee.
No, like we're sword fighting.
And then what happens is the pressure of my hand, the base of my dong, is herniating my balls. They're bulldogging my balls.
And I'm saying we
I'm not
smash
pushing
them
my-
together.
I ain't pushing my. All right.
Do you want to get famous on this mannequin challenge or not?
I don't want to push.
Is that
my-
it, Chin?
That's it for current events, yeah.
Let's do a couple fan questions. Get Brian the Kid Count out of here.
Yeah, Daddy's got to run.
Don't call yourself daddy.
Sorry.
We got one, I think this is a girl, Vixels. She's asking, why don't you guys offer the male design t-shirts on women fit t-shirts? Ladies need some TFA TK love. That isn't just too
Brendan?
girly.
We do select lady tees. We'll have lady tees coming in January. The lady demo force just isn't as big, so we don't focus on it as much. But we're growing it. It'll get there.
Yeah. We'll get it. Next question.
All right.
Oh, while he's saying that, keep going.
Okay. Cody Cole's asking, this is Brian Cowan, the best comic that influenced you to be a great comic?
It was never a comic. It was my heroes were authors,
Robert
and
De Niro,
actors.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
people like that. Springsteen
Brendan Schaub.
to try to be and Brendan Schaub.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I never had comedic heroes, but I mean, I'm Eddie Murphy.
Dane Cook.
And Eddie Murphy was amazing, and George Carlin was amazing, and Richard Pryor. But no, they were never my heroes.
Because you didn't get into comic till later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to be an actor, a dramatic actor, deep, brooding.
One more, Chin.
All right. F Prez 91 is asking, for both of you, who do you have for Rico versus Badr?
Badr Hari?
I don't know anything about Rico, and I know even less about Badahari. However, you guys talk about him a lot, so
They're
ready?
both
Watch
insanely
this.
badass.
I'm going with Badahari because I like his name more.
He's a monster. I take Rico. Rico's been more active. He's a bigger dude. His technique's flawless. So I got Rico. Interesting, fun fight though. I think it's on Spike as well. Be a good one.
Oh, I have a little announcement. My special is available on Google Play and on iTunes.
Audio only right now,
Audio,
B?
yeah. So go get it. It's only like $300 or something per song.
It's a great deal.
Yeah. So that's been available.
Never Grow Up. It's been available for a
Never-
while now, but now it's on audio too,
Yes.
which is good.
Yes,
so
sir.
people get on all platforms.
Correct.
Because we released the video ourselves, and now to have it on audio is cool.
Yeah.
That's smart, man.
And then we'll see what happens
iTunes,
after
Google
that.
Play. Is that what you
Yeah,
said?
and I think they're shopping it around.
It's called
too.
Brian Callen, Never Grow Up.
Yeah. I got to drop in knowledge really quickly.
You want to do that instead of doing reads?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to save my drop in knowledge, actually.
Save it, especially if it's a good one.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Because we got a bunch of shows. We got big guests next week, too.
You're right.
It'd be
I got it.
fun, man.
Yeah.
Man, thanks for listening, guys. Rob's the man. Go see Brian Callen, Fort Lauderdale, Friday, Saturday.
Thursday,
right?
Friday, Saturday.
Thursday, Friday. So you're doing Thursday.
Yes,
Damn,
sir.
son. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. tfatk.com, Seattle, Portland, Vancouver has 30 tickets just released. tfatk.com. I think that's it, brother.
That's it, brother. I'm excited.
Boom. This is the Fire and Kid. We're out.